All right, we're live. So first of all, this is my Ohio purple bear. There he is. Hello. Isn't he cute? I guess it's a she because she's got a bow. So it's a she. Anyway, hello to each of you. I know this is sort of a funny night for a few different reasons, but I'm a little early. Hopefully, Lovett will be on here soon. And she recommended that we do it early tonight for various different reasons. So, hi, Eric. Culver City. All right, you got to come up to one of our protests sometime. Definitely. Hi, Lovett. There you are. I got on early. Okay, musical magpie. Hi. Everybody's good. Yeah, very good. I was showing them my Ohio purple bear. Hey, Anne Marie. Hi. I've been doing good with my throat, but tonight it's kind of weird. So anyway, how are you guys? It's been kind of wild. I don't know if you saw Aaron was here yesterday. That drink always makes me cough. Anyway, Aaron was here yesterday, so that was fun. I didn't get to see him. He didn't let me know he was coming, but I think a few people saw him. Oh, good. You're going to come out soon. That'll be good. That'll be good. Good. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. I noticed there was like hardly anybody making videos. Hi, Tori and Chad decided for another episode of Midnight with Magoo. Thank you. Well, I'm happy you guys are here. I really am. Tonight, I thought I'd talk about something that I was telling Lovett about, and she said, yeah, I think you should talk about it. So I'm going to. Anyway, it's not that big a deal, but it's something that was a major big deal on me staying in Scientology or not. And all right, from Illinois. Hi, Geraldine. Good. I actually hitchhiked from LA, from Chicago. I left college, hitchhiked from Chicago to Asho Foundation. And I walked up. And again, I've recommended this book many, many times, but I still do. It's called Blink. And it's about your first instincts. And it's really, really good. And had I read that book and had I followed my first instincts, I would have never been in Scientology. Not ever. Oh, good. All right. Well, hi, Robert. I don't want to keep you up because it's 2:13 there, but come back another time. So anyway, I hitchhiked here, and I was basically a hippie. I was in college, but I'd been a hippie in Haight-Ashbury, and that was sort of my mindset. And we've been fighting the war and stuff like that. And now I walk up to Asho, having read about Clear and all this other stuff. Yep, that's right. Thank you, Lovett. Thank you for putting that up there. She put the link for Blink, the power of thinking without thinking. Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, I walked up to Asho, and here, the first thing I saw were these huge pictures of L. Ron Hubbard. They don't have them anymore. I mean, they have pictures of Hubbard, but they don't have huge pictures of him. But they did then. And I thought he looked like Adolf Hitler. That was the first thing I thought. It's like, this looks like Adolf Hitler. Because he always had those gigantic signs up. Yeah, hit the like button when you come in, please. Thank you, love it. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the Sea Org were all wearing Navy uniforms back then. So they're kind of marching around, looking very Navy-like. And I thought, okay, that's not my gang. And they were super organized. And hippies usually aren't really organized. Yeah, I know. He's really cute. I really, really like him. Look, he's got a little purple thing here too. Little purple heart. Really cute. Really cute. So, yes, he's magnificent. So, anyway, um, I forgot where I was. I'm bad at that. Try to save the comments till the end because otherwise I get mixed up on, I forget where I'm going on it. Okay, I'm telling you about you were hitchhiking. That's right. Thank you. All right, so I'm hitchhiking across the country. I come up to Asher. Oh yeah, I was telling you about looking at it. So I'm looking at it, and I see the Hubbard pictures. I don't like those. I see the guy in the uniforms. Everybody's in their uniforms, and I'm like, not me. And they're all super organized. So I'm like not thrilled about it. And my friend that had given me the Dianetics book had said, look, when you get there, ask for John Hildebrand. He was a guy from our high school. Both of these kids were that got me in. I know I'm early. I understand that, but Lovett asked me to come early, so that's why I am. So I apologize for being a little bit too early, but that's the way it is. And I'll try not to be this early. Anyway, so I'm kind of thinking this isn't really my crowd, but let me go in and ask for John Hildebrand. So I walk in, and the people I've been with were super friendly, and being a hippie and stuff like that. And I walked in and I said, I'd like to talk to John Hildebrand. And she goes, you can't. He's on course. He'll call you at 10:30. Basically, sort of like get out, right? And I'm like, well, okay. It was like so exclusive, which is the opposite of me. I like inclusion. I don't like exclusion. So right away, I was sort of like, ugh, I don't like this at all. So I call my friend. He says, yeah, go out to this guy's house in the valley. You can stay there. So I hitchhike out to the valley. We get stoned. We're goofing around. We're thinking, yeah, right. The guy's going to, he's going to call you at 10:30 at night. Well, he does. He calls me at 10:35. And I'm kind of amazed. I'm like, it's the guy. And, and so I get on and he goes, well, I'll be out there in about 10 minutes. And I say, okay. And I hang up. And again, we're like, yeah, right. He's going to drive out here to the valley. It was just like, no way. It's not going to happen. So then what happens? Ding dong. And it's the guy. It's John Hildebrand. He's a real tall guy, handsome. And he says, hi, I'm John Hildebrand. Why don't you come with me? We're going to go back to Asho. And I say, okay. So, and I didn't really know it as Asho at the time. It was American Saint Hill, which is Asho is the acronym for that. So we get in the car, we drive back to Asho. I'm sort of like thinking, this isn't going to work. And he parks out of next to Henry's Liquor Store. So anybody who ever went to Asho, Henry's Liquor Store because it's right on the corner of Benton Way and Temple Street. It isn't anymore, I don't think, but it used to be for years. And so he goes, let me get a 6-pack of beer. I'll be right back. So he goes in and I think, well, he drinks beer. He can't be all bad, right? And, that's my monitor of good or bad, right? He's drinking some beer. So we have a beer and he asked me, well, what do you think? And I said, well, I don't really like the guy with all those pictures around him. I mean, what's that about? And he goes, oh, that's just Hubbard. That's the way he is. Don't worry about it. And I said, okay. And I said, what about those people in the Navy uniforms? What are they doing? And he goes, oh, that's the Sea Org. That's not really us anyway. They're their own group. They kind of run the church and stuff, but don't worry about it. So I'm like, okay. And so then he says, well, what do you really want to do? And I said, well, really, I just want to be an auditor. That's why I came here. I want to help other people. I mean, I wasn't a lot of people get in Scientology to help themselves and get clear, get rid of something. That wasn't me. At all. I just wanted to help other people. And I knew I wouldn't make it as a doctor. So I thought, all right, I'll be an auditor. I can clear people and that'll be pretty good. I thought. Buddy system flunk. Yeah. So anyway, he gets his beer. I tell him I want to be an auditor. So he says, all right, let's go talk to the auditors. And back then there'd be like 50, 100 people outside, probably about 50, but it was a lot of people were outside chatting away and laughing and having a great time, really a fun time. And I thought, well, all right. So we go over there and they're just super nice, super friendly. I just love these people. I mean, they're just amazing. And they all have their TRs are in, which you guys all see as awful, but I saw it as really cool. It was like they could confront each other and face each other. And they were just very comfortable in each other's spaces. And I thought, wow, this is really neat. I really like it. And I remember the second I remember even who I was talking to. I was talking to Rocky Stump, who was I think either he ran ASHA or he was one of the head executives. And he was talking and I was listening to him. And I remember thinking, I don't really care what these people do. I want to be one of these people. And that was really the second my critical thinking was shut off. Now they didn't shut it off, because someone else asked me, did they do that? But no, they didn't. I did it myself. I went, nah, I don't care. I don't care about is it good or is it not, or figuring out all the things. It was like, I love these people, I love what they're doing, I want to do it, that's it. And that was the end of my critical thinking. So tonight I thought, well, we can talk about, does Scientology and critical does it increase critical thinking or decrease it? And in my opinion, I think it totally decreases it, because that was Hubbard's goal, kind of, to get you following the path up to the bridge to total freedom, which is up here, which didn't work at all for anybody. But, well, there's a few people I know that say it worked, but most people, no. Except for the guys that are out in the field, the independents, and they'll swear that it works. So, it's a kind of a rainbow of different views, but my view is no, it didn't really work. Not really. And I didn't really see it work on anybody. And I've never seen a clear. A clear is a person with a perfect memory, perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. And it took a long, long time for me to face that fact that there aren't any. You keep thinking, well, maybe it's the next level and the next level, and then you'll meet them. But after a while, I was at those levels, and there wasn't anybody there with any of those qualifications. So it was just it was very fishy at that point. The bridge to total amnesia. Yeah, it is kind of, I call it the bridge into the ditch, because it's just sort of like, it is the bridge to total amnesia. That's a good one, because it does basically strip away your critical thinking. So now you're not really thinking for yourself. You're thinking for the tech, right? And as long as you're with the tech, you're good. And as soon as you're away from the tech, either you need to fix it or someone else will write you up. Yeah, it's very damaging for kids. It's damaging for everyone. It's like, of course it's damaging for kids, because where'd their childhood go? Not anywhere. It's awful. It really is. I mean, thankfully, I wasn't really that into it. And I got into this whole other thing that's really another practice when you think about it, with Dr. Glenn Doman. But when my son was 2, I flew to Philadelphia, and he had a program called the Better Baby Week. And it was a week. He was basically working with severely brain injured children. Severely. The doctors had said, forget it. They're going to be toast. That's it. And Dr. Doman started working with some of them and found out he could bring them up to normal and often genius category. So then when our kids were 2, one of the mothers brought in a tape where he's saying, look, I realized if I can do this with brain injured kids, what about well kids? And that's when he started the Better Baby Week. And a bunch of us mothers who were Scientologists flew to Philadelphia, did the whole week, and we did that program for about 5 years. So when all the other kids were doing Scientology, we were doing the Doman program, which was a whole different thing. I mean, we were still using Scientology, some like the study tech, and they were clearing words and stuff like that. But they weren't like engulfed in Scientology like a lot of kids weren't. It just wasn't that way. I was teaching him at home, and it was wonderful. I mean, it was really great. He knew all the presidents by 2 years old. He could run 2 miles by the time he was 2 or 3. It was just fun. We really had a good time, all of us. So it was a different thing than Scientology. When you hear the kids that have been in Scientology, it was for a lot of them. Now, a lot of them, I know people where their kids did pretty good, when they were younger. So it just depends on, you know, I guess where you were and what was happening with you. But I wouldn't recommend it to any parents ever, ever, to have your kids be in Scientology. No, not ever. But anyway, as far as critical thinking, I thought, here's the tech dictionary. I always keep it here to look up things once in a while. And it's really once in a while. But anyway, I thought, well, let me see if he talks about critical thinking. And it says, let's see, I'll show it to you. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see it? Critical thought. Yeah, there it is. Critical thought. Anyway, he says critical thought. A symptom of an overt act having been committed. Now, an overt act is a bad deed. So critical PC is a withhold from the auditor. So you're holding something back from the auditor. So I realized he wasn't thinking of critical thinking with this. He's thinking of somebody being critical of you. And that, in his world, was a symptom of an overt act. Like you've done something bad to them. That's why you're criticizing them. Just kind of interesting. But anyway, there's that. And then I looked it up online. And it said critical thinking is the ability to effectively analyze information and form a judgment. To think critically, you must be aware of your own biases and assumptions when encountering information and apply consistent standards when evaluating sources. Critical thinking skills help you to identify critical sources. Anyway, it has a whole list of things that it does. But that was the opposite of Scientology, because there it was like follow the tech. That's it. And as long as you're following the tech, you're on source, you're right, everything's good. You get off tech, do anything else, buy a book. All my books, I had my top secret library that I was buying on OT7 because it didn't work. And so I was having headaches. So I started going to the bookstore looking for something that would help me. Hey, hi, Jurgen. Hi, Happy Days. Hi, Melissa. Hey, Saul. Yeah, I think I saw you earlier today, Saul. I thought you were still here in LA. I didn't realize you left, you rat. Sir Crepidus, hi, good evening. Kathy Kelly, yeah. What's the black and white stopping it? It's not really trying to help disabled kids, in my opinion. What's the black and white stopping it? It's not really. We're not talking about Scientology here. This is Glenn Doman. And he definitely was helping. He has huge mothers and fathers that are very, very happy with, and I watched them. So I know he did. My son isn't disabled, but he did the same. He said, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to teach you guys the same program I taught them. And it was amazing. I think it's really fantastic. He has a book called How to Increase Your Baby's Intelligence by Dr. Glenn Doman. And there you go. The bridge to total amnesia. I love that. All right. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you have any examples of where you might have stopped critical thought? Where you're aware of it? Because a lot of it we're not aware of. That's the thing. I don't know that I was aware of that moment until, I don't know when I realized it. Maybe until I got out, but certainly right before I got out. Okay, wait, here's some comments. Okay. All right, good. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Saul, I was only in town for a week. Oh, I'll be back, Tori. And if you need help with monetization, give me a call. You have my info. Okay. Are you sure I have your info? I think I do, but let me just check to make sure. Oh yeah, there you are. Aha. Okay, good. All right, I will. Yeah, because I am having trouble with it. I suppose that I'm supposed to wait in the mail, and I guess you have to just wait forever. until they send me something. Oh, you didn't take mine. Well, you could send. Do you know how to send? Can you send me? You could send me an email here. Here's my email. There you go. You can send me an email and I'll send you my information. There you go. That's good. And I don't think she's here tonight, but this was from Cheryl C. Remember I was talking about I need a box cutter? She sent me this. It's cool, huh? It's really, really intense. I only know how to do it one thing. But and then she sent me these little ones. These are really cool too. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's right. You have to see, look. Isn't that cool? Those are from Amazon. And Cheryl. She sent it to me. See, it comes in a pack of 3. It's really a good deal. They have good stuff. I like those stuff. So there's that. DOA is away on a little trip just to kind of get away from all this insanity. And Jay is kind of around, but he also has taken a few days off just to, it was kind of hairy. It really was. I can't, to this day, I can't believe Scientology stooped that low to hire gangbangers to come bash DOA's barbecue. I mean, what are they thinking? And I talked to my friend who's an ex-Scientologist, and she said, oh, they're just trying to intimidate all of you. And I said, do you honestly think that worked? That worked like 0, like minus 50. It's like more people now than ever are interested and care and are coming on. It just was stupid. It really was. Like I said the last time I was speaking, I mean, David Miscavige, my cousin said this to me once a long time ago, and we laughed for about an hour. I'd never heard this expression, but he said, he's dumber than a bag of hair. And I thought, that's Miscavige. He's dumber than a bag of hair. He is. So I'm glad you were able to help some people. I deliberately shut down all critical thinking in order to protect my mind from my highly controlling family. There you go. Good example. Really good example. And then did it start up again at some point, or what do you think, Abby Human? What do you think on that? It must have. And I'm a never in, and I believe some people do not need to be taught critical thinking. It comes naturally to them. Okie doke, artichoke. I don't think so. But that maybe. I mean, I think it's important to know critical thinking. I think you're right. It might come naturally to them. And if they're not around people that are like abusive or whatever, it'll remain. But it's important to know, certainly to know the steps of a cult and mind control, because then you can never get suckered into that. And experts on cults and mind control have told me anybody can get suckered into it if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that can be anything. So it's important to learn it. It really is. When I was in the class, I found it easy and fun. Most struggled with it. Okay, well, good. All right. That was crazy. I hope you're talking about the thing with DOA. Tori, I think I'm going to try to get Mishap. I think, Tori, gonna try to get Mishap. I don't know what that means. So you're going to have to explain to me what that means, Melissa, because I don't know what mishap is. I mean, it seems like a mishappening. You're going to try to get a mishappening. I don't know what mishap is. Maybe it's something else, but you got to let me know. Swatting is rude. Yeah, it is. And it's stupid. It really is. It's just wastes a lot of money. That's what I explained to the 911 lady. And ever since then, they've been sending 1 or 2 cops. So I said, look, just stop sending all these fire engines and ambulances. It costs the city a lot of money to do that. And since then, they've been just sending police to check it out. They do sometimes send the fire engines, but it's not as bad as it was with the swatting when it was really going to town. I was so disgusted by that. It was a sophomoric. It reminded me of high school bullies. Exactly. I know that. Me too. And to think that Scientology, that's trying to be a church and they're really trying to be known as a real religion, is doing this kind of stuff? No. I don't know any church ever that I've ever known where they would hire gangbangers to come hurt people that are protesting them. It's like, okay, you disagree with us. Why don't you come in and have a hot dog? You know, it's. I have a few stars. Be like, okay, all right. Let me just look at this comment from YRB. Early focus group memory, when converted to understanding, then to critical thinking, is a good summary of the complete learning process. Okay, early focus group memory, okay, when converted to understanding, then to critical thinking, is a good summary of a complete learning process. Well, okay, that sounds good. It does. I'm not quite sure if everybody has early focus group memory. So that's where I'm kind of like, it sounds good, but I don't think I had that. Hi, Tori. Hi, chat. Hi, Kayla, Keiko. And please don't forget to give the like button a touch assist. Yeah, everybody hit the like button if you haven't. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's good to see all of you. Oh, good, you emailed me. All right, thank you, Saul. All right, I'm going to try to get the husband to come barbecue tomorrow evening. I text the one that I don't know, you must be having trouble typing tonight. All right, good. Well, that'll be good. That'll be good. What is tonight? Tonight's Tuesday, so tomorrow night's Wednesday. Can you email me, Melissa? Yeah, email me. And if you don't have my email, here it is. It's my name 44 at gmail.com. Okay. All right. And good for you, Jurgen. You realized and were able to walk away. Yeah, that's very impressive. Very, very impressive. The back burner when I joined the Buddhist cult. Oh, I see. Wait. I put my critical thinking on a back burner when I joined the Buddhist cult and was skeptical, but gave it a try anyway, and then finally walked out one day and never turned back. It was a cult. There you go. You know, I never knew that about Buddhism until I saw a whole documentary about it. And it was shocking. I mean, they were crawling. I don't think this is all Buddhism, but this one group was very culty. And they crawled on their knees, I think from LA to like Las Vegas or something. I mean, it was like really far out in the desert. And the people out in the desert had made this huge sand picture for Buddha, or the guy that was being Buddha. And they finally got there, and Buddha just picks the whole thing up, throws it in the river, and says, "I don't feel good," and leaves. After they've gone on their knees that far. Oh my God. Oh, I guess I have to charge up my thing. I just realized my light stopped going. I don't know how to do it. No, I don't think so. Shoot. I don't think I have anything long enough. Saul, we need you to get down here right now. Well, anyway, I lost the light. I'll have to take it off afterwards and charge it up, and then we'll have it back. All right, so Good for you, Jurgen. That's really good. All right. I didn't feel like an intelligent person till I took, oh, interesting, till I took critical thinking because I'd been abused and called stupid. Oh, God, how sad. That is awful. Well, good for you, Happy Days, for taking the critical thinking course. Wow. I am just amazed that parents would do that to kids. It's so not right. And so many kids have that story. It's tragic. I believe physical pain is related to trauma. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so always. I don't know. It could be. I think it is a lot of times, but I don't think it always is. Hi, Sir Crepidus. All right. That's from Keiko. Abby's human. It took years to get my critical thinking back again, and then I had a huge breakdown. Oh, like a good breakdown or a bad breakdown? It sounds like bad. Oh, that's too bad. Well, you must be okay now because you're online and you're here with Magoo. Midnight with Magoo. There you go. Okay, all right, okay. I gotta check some things. Hang on. Okay, that didn't work. Wait a second. Just a second. I'm trying to find. Pardon me. Yeah. I love it is trying to direct me to certain comments and I can't seem to find them. So I don't know. Maybe when you, I don't know. I can't see them at all. I don't see any, and I don't see a star thing at the top. I know it just says hide current comment, and I don't want to hide any comments. So, I don't know. Now it's. Uh, Well, let me see. I'm trying to find them. Okay, I'm going down. Go to the top and move over to the started instead of live. I don't know how to do that. Ah, man, this is irritating. Thank you, Antics of the Mama Squirrel. Thank you very much. Tori loved the old clips of you being a warrior princess back in the day. And the queen to all of us that are just catching up. Don't you love what's happening now? I do. I really do. It's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. It's fantastic. And everybody that was from the old days loves it too. There's a live or starred. No, above the chat it says edit and it has a picture of me. And if I click on that, it says you are live, edit, or remove. That's it. Or you can view it on YouTube. That's what I have. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm failing. Below edit, you have your picture. No, next to edit, I have my picture. And on my picture, it has a little thing Oh, you live in Thailand, bottoms up. Wow, cool. That's where my brother lives. He lives in Thailand. Below edit and your picture, it says live or starred, not mine. It says edit, or it has a picture of me with a little arrow like I can start it live, and it's got a check on it. And if you click on it, it says I'm live. Should I unclick the check? It has you're live, edit or remove, or view on YouTube. You're not failing. Look how far you've come. Thank you, Melody. Thank you. I feel awful when this kind of thing happens. It's like she's starring things. I don't see anything starred. Nothing. Nothing. And it's just like, and it doesn't have the thing that she's saying on my computer that says there should be starred comments. But okay, please hit the like button. I see that. Yeah, love it. You're the only one in blue. There's nothing, none of the things are in blue. Okay, the like button engaged. Sir Crepitus, that is great that you're here. I want to get together with you. So send me an email also, Sir Crepitus, and we'll have lunch or something and plan out our future attacks. All right, good morning, lovely. I'm just kidding, just so you know. You took critical thinking in community college and loved it. Oh, you did. Happy days. Good. Maybe I'll do that. That might be a good idea. Go to community. I think they have a senior thing. I'll see if they do. That's a good idea. I didn't know you could take a course in it. I really didn't. It probably would be really shocking for me. It would. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure this out, love it. And I apologize to everyone that I'm like being a bozo. Okay, YRB, I was taught critical thinking by my father, who began with lessons about marketing and advertising reviewed on television. Smart. I think I was taught critical thinking by my parents. I do. Because they didn't call it critical thinking, but I think it was, because it was certain things little things they would teach me. But that's great, YRB. That sounds really smart. I didn't know it was a cult till now. Are you serious? I got to show this just so you guys know I'm not making it up. Oh my God, I didn't know it was a cult till now. 100%. Yeah, look up cults in Google, or in YouTube, really is the best thing. Okay, you're a beautiful mother figure, Tori. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't feel like I have to prove it. I just feel bad when things aren't going the way they should. But that's the way life is. So I'm used to it. That's my life. That is the way my life is. Every once in a while it goes right, but I am an unusual person. I really am. In many ways. But like I was in sales for 30 years and I was a top salesperson, but it was mostly because I couldn't remember anything. Do you know what I mean? And so I just had to get in communication with people and not think about all their things that they'd taught us that never worked anyway. It just was like Scientology. You go into these businesses. I think I told you guys this, but I sold security systems back when it was $5,000 for the whole system. And it was all engineers, all men. They knew their shit, right? And I was like Lucille Ball out selling security systems. And I was the top salesperson every week. I made more money than they did. And they'd always laugh at me. And I'd say, you guys can laugh at me all you want. I'm laughing all the way to the bank. So that's all that matters. Is that people are happy with their security system and I'm making money on it. And you're not, so you can be as smart as you want. But sometimes being smart isn't the only thing that you need to do. There's a thing called communication and finding out what do people need. That's the thing. I'd go in and say, all right, do you feel secure? No. All right, well, show me around. Let's, and I cared about them. You know what I mean? I really did. Like this one couple, they made so little money. They had 2 kids. They were in an apartment, and part of the thing was to drive around the block and see what's around, what they're living around, what's living around them. And there were all these gangs out there behind the apartment building. And I thought, wow, this is bad news. And I knew 5 apartments had been broken into. And so I'm trying to sell them this $5,000 system. And they're like, we can't afford it. Honestly, we just can't. And so I came down and I came down and I came down, and I finally came to the least I could do. And I just said, look, I'm not going to make any commission on this, but I don't care. I want you guys to have a security system. You've got children. You know, these people are all around you, these gang members. You've got to be protected. And I just said, I'm staying here until you figure out something. You guys figure it out, because I'm not leaving until you get a security system. And they finally both burst out crying, and they said, oh my God, you really care about us. And I said, I do. I really do. And they bought it, you know, but it wasn't me going, oh, I made all this money on it. I didn't make any money on it, but I didn't care. I wanted them to be safe. Okay. You texted me. Okay. Okay. All right. Hang on. I gotta find this. Okay. Here's the text. Okay. She's so great. Okay, yeah, I used to have that, but I don't have that anymore. I don't know why, but I don't. How about if I hit the hide current comment just to see? No, that didn't work. Okay, that was the thing that it said hide the current comment. Click on the comment to show it on the screen. Okay, so that, yeah, I remember that. I did used to have that, but I don't now. I don't know why. I don't know. Let's see if it's in here. No. Maybe it's this. Is it this thing? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh, these things. Here's the comments. Oh, here's some new comments. I'm going to try to get my husband. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to try to get my husband to go barbecue at Big Blue tomorrow evening. Melissa, can you make sure to email me first? Because I have something I have in mind. I noted it on my calendar. Okay. I think I'm going to try to get my husband. Okay. Swedish Lena. Okay. Oh, hi everyone from Australia. Okay, hello. Your energy attracts people. I hope to be as pleasant as you are one day. Thank you. That's nice. All right. June 27th, the National Tori Magoo Day. Woohoo! That's funny. Love it. You're too cute. All right. Oh, shoot. Did we start early tonight? I keep missing Tori Magoo fix. And feel like I have been left behind. All right, so I'm going to try to do the scheduling thing. So I'll schedule it. I'm trying to do it a little bit early because some people think it's too late. You know, it's tricky, you know, because there's people all around the world and different people have different times. But so I'm kind of juggling it to see. But we got 130 people here. How many likes do we have? I hope everybody's hit their like buttons. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. There's no such thing as failure, only lessons learned. Good. Very good. Thank you, Tammy. I adore how you roll with the punches, Tori. Are you an Aquarius? No, I'm a Cancer. But I have to roll with the punches. I just have to, because that's part of my whole, especially after being in Scientology and they taking me off my medicine, I lost my short-term memory. So it's very difficult to do a lot of things. And I I just have to roll along. But it's worked to my advantage. You know, that one of my favorite ones, I think I've told you guys that one, but the one where I was trying to sell, you know, I was working for Scientology selling those Dianetics books, and I kept forgetting that guy's name. So I called him 3 times, and he finally said, "Do you realize you've called me 3 times?" And I said, "Well, maybe it's karma. Maybe you need to do an interview." And he goes, "All right, if you'll stop calling me, I'll do the interview." And they were so thrilled because it was like the guy had millions of viewers, and it was really a big deal for them. It was funny. All right, Tori. Okay. I still don't see any of the highlighted things. You're winning at life, Tori. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Catherine Kelly. What a beautiful name. It's a pretty name. Oh, look at this name. Karma Chams Kittens. Wow. Let's make you feeling better. I am sucks when the doctor gives more pills for the darn side effects. Sending them. Yeah. You just have to make sure to rest and drink a lot of water. Those are 2 things that people don't do enough. Okay, good. Thank you, Rin. Again, you're not failing, Tori. You're learning. That's good. All right. It's just that I don't think Lover feels that way. She's like, she's not learning from me. Look how far you've come. Yeah, it's true. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I don't know how to see. I don't know how to get out of these now. How do I get edit your picture? It says live and starred. Below edit and picture. Oh, there's starred. It has one thing starred. Here we go. There we go. That's starred. Hi, everyone from Australia. All right, the starred thing came back. I don't know how. What did you do to get it back? That's good. Well, at least I had one starred thing. That's all I have. Let's see if I don't know what I did to get the starred thing. And now all the comments are gone. Oh, I have to go over to live. Maybe. Yeah, there's the comments. Okay. All right. Well, we got one of them. Osa stays up late, don't they? Yachty did. Osa doesn't in general, but Yachty did. And there's one old guy that used to have like 5 computer things, and he'd stay up watching everything. Yeah, they're watching. Hi, Osa. Epic fail. Epic fail. The fact that you guys thought you could hire gangbangers, that the world hates bullies. The world hates bullies. Let me say that again. The world hates bullies. There's not a lot of things that people say they hate, but people despise bullies because they're mean and they're nasty and they're intentionally trying to harm. So people don't like them. And the fact that you would hire bullies to knock over someone cooking for people and giving out free food, and you would hire bullies to harm that person is pathetic. I mean, it is pathetic. It is truly and honestly the newest low you've ever hit. I mean, you've done a lot of shit to me, but nothing like that. That is disgusting. And I'm telling you, it really, really is going to go on the media soon. It is. Because you guys are just, people are writing me all the time. Is there any media on this? No, because the media is afraid of you too. But at some point, I'm going to start going around to different churches and talk to them and say, you know, what do you guys think? Do you have anything to say about this? What if they hire the bullies to come get the people in your churches? You know, it's like, come on. What are you guys thinking? You're not, obviously. You're probably, most of you, 18 or 19 years old or 90. And either way, I'm an old person too, but I'm not in that mind frame where I would do that. I don't care. I never did. If they said, oh, L. Ron Hubbard said you have to do this, if I didn't believe in it, I said no. I told you guys that when I was in. I said, you are creating your own enemies. They said, Tori, you have to go over to Mark Bunker's, carry this sign and say, Mark Bunker is blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I don't even know the guy. And you don't know him either. And you know this is a lie. You just pull this out of your ass. That's all that happened. And then that's what happened with these stupid gangbangers. I can't even believe one of them is a Scientologist dressed up like a gangbanger, and you are that pathetic. That is disgusting. And I'm sorry to all of everybody here that I'm taking all this time, but I just thought, you know what? Screw it. I can't find all these star things, so I'm going to tell us when I think about them. You guys suck big time. And I'm talking big, big, big time. You want to be a church? Scientology told me our biggest goal, Osa told me this, our biggest goal is to be thought of as a real religion. Now, think about that. I'm sorry, love it. I get it. There's a bunch of starred ones. I can't find them. There's one. And there's stars. There's one. That's all that it said. So something is missing here. And for anybody who's asked good questions, I really apologize that I'm not getting to them. I'll go back now. I'll stop falling out Osa. But you know what? You guys really suck. Okay. All right. So Good SP. Okay. Oh, that guy's talking about it. He's some formed gang member. When was the last time you powered down your computer? Last night. I power it down every night. I don't leave my computer on for this very reason. Sometimes starting up fresh makes the computer glitches go away. I do it all the time. So, I mean, I started it up tonight. Good SP. Okay, let's see. Bully, fail, flunk, shame, fail. Good. Tori, you've been an inspiration to me. Oh, this is nice. You've been inspirational to me. I left the cult and was just going to be quiet and move on, but you inspired me to start letting people know about it and cults in general. Thank you. You are welcome, Jurgen. And honestly, I keep wanting to remind people, get your own cards made up. You don't have to have Xenu's picture on it if you don't want, but have some kind of a card that you can hand out that has websites on it so that, you know, you can just say, go do your own research, but find out. Yes, they're getting more desperate using bully tactics. That's right, Adrian. All right, so let's go down, 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 down. Catherine Kelly says humiliation tech, flunk, especially for children. Exactly, especially for children. Don't ever get your kids in Scientology. I stand out there all the time. I mean, my favorite one was, there's that real tall guy that always does the recruiting in front of the testing center with the white hair, and he hates me. And I just stand out there and say, there's nothing free in Scientology, nothing, right? And so this family of 5 comes walking up, and they've all got tickets, right? And I know they think they're going to the Egyptian because I know Andrew works at the Egyptian, and they always send him over there. And he has to say, no, we're not this. You have to go to the Scientology free video, and I don't recommend it. Okay, so they're all walking down the street with him, and he's holding their hands like, I've got him. And I just walked up to the mother, and I said, I just want you to know something. There's nothing free in Scientology. This organization breaks up families. They stop free speech. I was in for 30 years, and I had to escape out. I was chased across the country. The Tampa police got me out of the Tampa airport, and all of my friends disconnected from me, and my husband of 26 years won't talk to me. And they all went like this, here. And they handed the guy with the white hair back his ticket. It was so great. He just walked on. Oh, okay. Protests aren't going to stop till Scientology is. Their attacks mean nothing. They only show how dangerous OSA is. I don't believe in that. I really don't. I don't think they're going to stop. Oh, I see. The protests aren't going to stop until Scientology is stopped. Their attacks mean nothing. deranged OCs. Okay, I see. I thought you were saying it the opposite way. Yeah, you're right. It just shows how crazy they are. And I mean, people, when they hear this story, I'm telling everybody. And when they hear it, they're like, oh my God. People are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really. You can go look and, I give them, different YouTube sites and say, go watch it. This thug tech is really bad optics for COS. Hopefully the streamers spread even more awareness of how nasty this organization is. Yeah, exactly. Aw, I'm 42. If any of my 4 kids protested against Scientology, I would be so proud of them. Yeah, for sure. Okay, no apologies, Tori. I love your passion. I love the fact that you're scolding them. Okay, good. Yeah, because they need to be scolded. It's like, what the hell are you guys thinking? What? Miscavige, wake up, knock, knock. Hello. You want to be a real religion? Ain't going to happen hiring mafia. No. Somehow religion and mafia don't go together, pal. You might have missed that in any kind of schooling you had, which I don't think you had any. And you've proven that out over and over and over. But this is really to a point of, there's street smarts. You don't have that either. Get it together, man. This is really bad news for you. You're driving this church into the ground. And it's good for me. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I don't want this church around. It's not a church. It's a cult. It's a mafia-like organization hiding behind the curtain of religion. It's not a religion. And you know it. Okay. I hate bullies. I've been bullied on social media since I have high functioning autism. I always block and report those people. Good. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. And imagine a church trying to be a church and wanting to be thought of better. Yeah, right. Sure. That gangbanger was a Scientologist. Yeah, that one guy spent 20 years in prison for drugs. It wasn't a huge jump for him in his attire. I know, but I'm just saying he went back to it. And he also admitted they did research on it. And he's in the schools, back in the schools, teaching drug education and how to survive that. It's like, really? So we're going to get these videos. That's what I say. Let's get the video of him banging in a barbecue and parking in Scientology's parking lot and eating in Scientology's eating area. Put all that together on a disc and we'll get it out to the different high schools. And bye-bye. You ain't going to be where we can find out where you're doing your thing. You guys want to help out? We'll find out where that guy is. What school is he in? That's what we need to know. We need to find out. Hey, Tori baby, Gurur, just got here. You rock and are pure sunshine on the darkness. That is Osa. Thank you. Well, I know these guys, and it's like they have really. Okay, gangbangers obviously means something entirely different in the U.S. Well, they're like they're bullies. Are there bullies that are somewhere else in the world? They're not called bullies? Tell me that. Forget about gangbanger. Let's just call them bullies, because that's what they are. Xenu, the alien dude, does he look like that communion alien on the book? Who knows? It's like Xenu is a concept that's bullshit. So, it's a space alien. And that's what Hubbard said. He's from another planet and all this other shit. If you want to read about it, go to xenu.net and read about OT3. That's it. So it doesn't matter. You can put on it whatever you want. Everyone that I give it to likes it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, thank you on that. Love it. Restart with flush the RAM and reset the save state. Shutdown does not do that. If you have problems with your OC, restart will flush the RAM. I restart all the time, though. I never leave my computer on, ever. So because Scientology comes in and works it over. So I never do. Yeah, Jurgen, good for you for starting to speak out. I agree with Swedish Lena. We need all the voices letting the world know. Yeah, good for you. That's a good one. I do both. I've done both. Okay, Gurur. Ah, okay. I love you. Sophie made a great edit of Doug and Tori. I want to see it. Now, I see. I can't copy these. So will you send that to me, love it? Because I never saw it. That's nice. Ah, they have not Scientology. Security came and told Aaron and Serge to get off one of the benches. Can't talk to one of those SPs, let alone two with cameras recording. I was shocked they let them stay as long as they did. I really did. I know their drill. And they never, in years past, never. I mean, if we just sat down on the benches, they were there, security, get up, get off our benches. So I was shocked that they let them, they were there for like 20 minutes. They were there a long time before they came out. So I thought it was a win for them. Hi, C. Inu. Okay. Hi. Shame and humility are emotive abuse towards kids. I think shame and humility are emotive abuse towards anyone, definitely towards kids, but for anybody. Hey, lovely people. Oh, hi. Here's our fluffer, Squirrel UK. Good to see you. Get it together, Tiny Dave. Get it together, idiot. And I don't care if you're not running OSA, start running them. Because whatever these knuckleheads are doing, if you want your Church of Scientology to be thought of as a real religion, it is never, ever going to happen with these knuckleheads running this way. So whoever, if it's you, get it together. It's not working. And we're only expanding. This is great on this side. We are expanding and expanding and expanding, and it's just going to keep going. That's what's going to happen. We're not going away. No, you have nothing. You have nothing. When I got in Scientology, it was packed. You could barely get in. You had to wait in line. Not anymore, babe. There's nothing. Every org, nothing. I drove from the above California all the way to San Diego, and every single Scientology org was dead. And this was years ago. It was like 15 years ago. Now it's like a joke. Unbelievable. Adrian says, good morning, Fluffer Squirrel, UK. Okay. Tori, I was watching your demonstrating of 2014 ZFS event. They expected 10,000 people, but only a few hundred turned up. Now there are even fewer members. Surely it can't last much longer. I know. I mean, it's kind of pathetic, isn't it? I mean, it certainly is whittling down. I think that's what Miscavige is trying to do, is turn it into like this buy a building, sell a building, that kind of thing. Because he's not really delivering auditing anymore. So at least the different organizations aren't. We'll see. Time will tell. But we, the activists, are here. And we're not leaving, David Miscavige. And you didn't scare us. And we didn't. I know there were a couple of days where everybody was gone, and that was intentional because we had something that we were doing. and you don't know what it is, and you never will. That's the problem, isn't it? You never will. You're on the wrong side of the tracks, man. You might as well just dump this thing and come on over here. I don't know that we take you in. I don't, but you could join some other group. Maybe you have hope there. There's no hope with Scientology. It just isn't. And Harold Bazazian, get your ass out of there. Oh my God, my friends, Al Rabisi and his family, come on out. You're invited out. We would welcome you out. We won't be mean and nasty to you like they say. We're having a good time out here. And everybody that leaves, they have a good time. It takes a little bit of adjustment because you're used to, and you know what? All of a sudden, you don't have that. You can do whatever you want. What do you want to do? I don't know. I haven't thought of that in 50 years. Well, now you can. It's kind of amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. And you guys have been so kind. People, look, this, did I show you this? I think I did. I showed it to you. But it's like people have been sending me things that's just like so kind. It's so awesome. It's like that never happened in Scientology, not ever. So to have these people around the world, just wonderful people. Oh, look at Leopard Squirrel. Hey, Mama Squirrel, Adrian, Jurgen, Gypsy. All right. Poor Becky needed help. I was so upset about how she was treated. I guess I missed that. What happened? I missed what happened there. Yeah, thank you. It does need to be stopped. It really does. And the police, that's the other part of it. LAPD, hello. Why are you helping the Church of Scientology, which is not a church? I asked the policeman when I was there with DOA. DOA's on the ground. And I said, look, you're a Catholic, right? And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, so they don't have a 6-hour mass. And he goes, yeah. And I said, there you go. So he's supporting and being paid by this religion that is saying they're having a 6-hour mass. Now it's all day, all night. Right, sure. Okay, so everyone's chatting together. That's good. Okay. I'm so glad I caught a live. Better late than never. That is true. Nothing but love. All right, that is very true. Get the dusky knuckleheads, Tori. That's right. I'm a bad person to have around. I am, because I don't take lightly to knuckleheads and bullies. I mean, I don't. No. Nope. I got my walking stick, and believe me, I'll use it. If you want to have some media, you do anything to me, and you are going to be on the NBC News, CNN, ABC. It's ridiculous. We should have it on the news now. With the thing with DOA, that should have been on the news. Why not? Because they're afraid of the Church of Scientology. Come on, media. You're media. You're supposed to be, following these things. Go and look at Aaron Smith Levin's his video about. He has a guy that took it frame by frame, telling about. I think it was Thursday, right? I think that was when it happened. I'm not sure. It was like the day before Mother's Day. Mother's Day was no. It was the day before Friday, I think. I think it was Thursday. I do. If anybody knows the date, the date, let me know. What is this? Including that disc you give them all to the YouTube Scientology propaganda with featuring him and his similar cohorts that did the barbecue toss. I'm not sure. Maybe you were talking to someone else because I'm not quite sure what you mean there. YRB. Are you talking to me about that? Okay, here's a question. Thank you, Eric. How long do you think Scientology will last until they shut down? Do you think it will be weeks, months, years? What are your thoughts? It's a really difficult one for me because I escaped out in 2000. In 2001, they had the trial with Lisa McPherson, who was basically in the hands of the Church of Scientology, died. Now, whether that's murder or whether, because per the worksheets, it kind of looked like, I don't know, it wasn't intentional murder, but it wasn't good. And we thought, no way, they're not going to get out of this. But they paid off the coroner. The coroner changed the story. The family came and they got paid off. The whole thing was sealed. That was it. End of story. So that was the beginning of me going, oh my God, they got out of that? And, it's kind of gone on since then, where there's different things. People have sued them and they get out of it. They've sued them and they get out of it. So how long are they going to last? I don't think they're going to go down. I don't think they're going to go down completely, but I think they're going to be like the Christian Science Church or something, where it's just like some little divey group of people that get together, but that's all it's going to be. Their heyday has come and gone. I was there when it was jumping, and that has come and gone, and they will never, ever get it back because of the things that you are doing, David Miscavige, and you're the leader. So you can say, oh, I'm not the COP. I don't care what title you have. You take in the money for the Church of Scientology. So you are the cat that we're going to come after and after and after until you're toasted. And you can go run over me. I don't care. There's 1,000 people behind me. It isn't just me saying this. There's 1,000 people that feel exactly the same way. Your turn is coming, babe. So in the meantime, we'll talk. And you can worry about it because you're the one that has to worry. I've said it forever. Tick tock, time is on our side. Why did I say that? Because we're on the side of truth. They're on the side of lies, abuse, gang members. That's the Church of Scientology shit. We're on the side of truth and honesty. Ask us a question, we'll tell you. It is the way it is because of what they're doing. It's not because of what we're doing. It's because of what they're doing. Tori Magoo 44, do you know where Harold is these days? I don't. I haven't talked to him in 24 years. And that's too bad. Because part of our marriage vows were that we would always stay in communication no matter what. So there you go. Everyone out here has mean, nasty families. Really? I don't feel that way, but maybe so. I respect the fact that there are a lot of people with mean, nasty families, but I wouldn't say everyone does by any means. There's a lot of good families. Okay, here's Love It again. Love It, will you send me that so I can see the video of Doug and Tori? I miss him. Oh, God. Thank God I took videos of my really dear friends. I've got them of Andreas, he's dead. Arnie, he's dead. They're henchmen. That's right. True. And yeah, okay. To a car. Okay. I'm totally on your side. I do have legitimate expertise. Oh, good. In what? Tell me what you have legitimate expertise in, because you can always use it. Okay. When Scientology finally gives up and declares bankruptcy, the court will have to consider the social cost of care and transition of the Sea Org members as a liability to cover property sales tax next. My guess is they'll dump the Sea Org. Scientology won't do shit with them. And I don't think the state will either. But we'll see. If I were a CEO member, my message to you is get out now. The way out, Hubbard said the way out is the way through. Well, what did Hubbard use? Hubbard used the way out as the nearest door. He took off. He left. He didn't get through. He left. Okay. I was there when he left. And who took over? Did LRH's best friends, Pat and Annie Broker, take over the Church of Scientology that LRH requested? No. Bully David Miscavige took over. That's what happened. Because he threatened Pat Broker and said, either you get out of here or I'm going to put you in prison for the rest of your life. That's what happened. Miscavige, you think you can just keep bullying people, but you know what? It never works. Look at Al Capone, pal. I'm from Chicago. He was hard to snag. He was a hard guy to snag, but look what happened. His taxes, tax evasion. That was it. Boom. And the same thing's going to happen to you, Jew. All right, cult creation of death stories is just weird. Cult creation. What does that mean? Cult creation of death stories. Culty creation of death stories. Okay. Mike Rinder said in a German interview that Lisa McPherson died in the 40s. And I know. I don't care. I don't believe that. First of all, it's my own personal opinion. Strictly, it not everyone else. The story is not. They've well patented their story about Lisa, but I stayed in those cabanas that Lisa was supposedly in, and they are like 10 feet from the HGB. The HGB is the Hubbard Guidance. Whatever, it's where you get auditing. It's all where the top auditing is happening. They're not going to have someone who's type 3 10 feet from where there's the very wealthy people are buying auditing. And the cabanas were the most expensive in the Fort Harrison. So I don't think she was ever there. I don't. She had cockroach bites all over her. Where were there cockroaches? Out on US 19, where the staff had to stay. And the children had to stay. It was disgusting. And I know about it because my son was friends with one of the ladies that worked there. She was like making up the beds and stuff like that. And she stayed out there and she told me about it. She said it is gross. So I think they kept her out there where, sure, she can be type 3 all she wants. Nobody's going to care. It's out in US 19. Nobody's going to hear it. Nothing. That's what I think. And then she died. They drove her to the Scientology doctor. And like my doctor said, if I had called Scientology, I would have been dead. Because he said 5 more minutes and you would have been dead. So Mike, until Mike shows all of the last 3 days of the in writing what happened to Lisa McPherson and anyone else who was there at that time, which I think is just Marty, is the only person I know, and Mike, until that comes out, you can say whatever you want, but I don't think it's true. I don't think she died in the Fort Harrison. She could have, but I think you're probably right. She died somewhere other than in the ambulance going to the doctor. I think you're right on that. I think Mike's right on that. But I don't think it's, I just I never believed that she was staying in that cabana because I stayed in it and I saw the people that stayed in it and I know the sound of it and how far it carries. And it's like, they're not going to have the most expensive people near somebody type 3. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, that's my thing. The money, I could be wrong too. So just so you know, I totally get that I could be wrong, but because I stayed in them and nobody's ever talked to me about it that was actually there, it's kind of like, okay, whatever somebody thinks. Hey, you guys. That's cute. Very cute. Hi, Sandy Hill. Do you think David Miscavige, do you think David M. believe? Do I think he believes in the tech? No, I don't. But that's a guess. I don't really know the guy, but I don't think so. I don't think he could. The tech has been changed so much by him. I don't think he could possibly believe in it. How could he? He couldn't. Okay, thank you for the video. Thank you, love it. I too am from Chicago. All right, Smoke. Good to know. I'm from Park Ridge. That's where I grew up. That's the suburb. And then Lake Forest. I loved Park Ridge. Didn't really like Lake Forest. But that was, I also, because I lost all my friends. I was sophomore year in high school, so it was a bad time to move. Talking of Doug, I'd only started watching him a few months before we all lost him. But watching his videos was like coming home to a warm fire and a tasty stew. He was perfect. Yeah, that's so true. He had it set up. We were going to do an interview the next week, and then he passed away. It's like, so, so hard. LAPD likes Scientology. They like Scientology because they send in thugs to do what they can't do. And then they turn their heads and let the thugs run the neighborhoods. Probably very true. Very, very true. And thank God we have Streets LA now, with the film The Police LA. Evening from New Zealand. Hello, Soapy. No problem. We're really early because Lovett asked me to do it early, so we did. So that's what happened today, but no problem. There you go. It was the 9th. Yeah, no. What are you asking? And May 9th is the birthday of Dianetics, but the actual event was a couple of nights after that. Yeah, very true. He was a loss to us all, same as Andreas. Oh, such a great guy. Opinion. I think the tax exemption is the one thing that could affect David, therefore the church. 100%. I mean, everyone agrees with you on that. It's a matter of getting it done. But yeah. Savannah, Georgia. How are you doing, adopted granny? You are just so sweet. Oh, nice. Okay. Hi. From Grim Adam. Okay. Good to see you as always. Thank you. And Sophie said, hi, lovelies. All right. And good evening from Sydney. All right. I'm also late to the party, but we're early from usual, from my midnight with Magoo. We started at 11. So we started way early tonight. So that's okay. Don't worry about it. You're here. Verity, that's good. From Sydney. Oh, I love Sydney. You're the greatest light shows in the world. They didn't take care of her. No, they didn't take care of her at all. Meaning Lisa, I think you mean. Hey, Tori, just catching up on the replay. Thank you for all your efforts to protesting Scientology. You're welcome. I've been doing it for a long time. I have. And then I was sort of like, I think I'm done with it. Not because of how I feel. And I still was passing out my cards and stuff like that. But as far as videos, I was sort of done because I don't know how to do all that flashy stuff. But then I talked to Jessica and she said, you don't need that. Just tell your stories. And it was so great. It was like, I'll always thank her for that. It was really great. Hi, Grim. Okay, I don't know who Grim is, but it's not your fault. Okay. I know it's not my fault. Lara FM actually shredded those files for DM. She was the runner for Rathbun after Lisa died. Okay, so she shredded the files for DM. Pathetic. Okay, and here's Sandra D. And here's no one. Look at the difference. Sandra D. and no one. And here's Fluffer Squirrel UK. Your wisdom and insights are truly incredible. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Well, I'm glad. Which part of it do you feel is incredible? Share that with me, because I don't know. Okay, I don't think DM believes in tech either. He quit during OT7. Yeah, he's changed too much of the tech for it to be something he believed in. Hi, no one. Yeah, cute. Okay, so this is Sophie Gutted. I would have loved to see the interview with you and Doug Torrey. Yeah, me too. I want to see it. I think Lovett said she has it, so she's going to send it to us. In fact, here it is, I think. This is of Tori and Doug. I guess you already saw it if you edited it. Cool. Thank you for answering my half-written question. I accidentally sent it before finishing, but you understood and managed a good answer. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I know how that is. Sometimes you just don't even mean it. You just kind of, for me, I'll just accidentally hit the thing and it sends it. And it's like, I forget today, I called someone a name and it wasn't their name. It was like, let's say it was Sandy. And I said, Saldy or something like that. And I had to correct it. But, if you're on one of those things where people are talking, then by the time you've set it up here and then way down here, you go, I meant Sandy, that kind of thing. It's weird. Okay. Speaking of Sandy, look who's here. Oh, wait, what happened? How come I didn't show it? Jules Fire Rocks. I like that. Hi, Sandy. All right, and here's the Hildebrands. Woohoo! Good morning from the Netherlands. Yay, good morning. Willeke? Did I say it right? Willeke? Nice. All right, Jules Fire Rocks. That's good. All right, do you have a favorite streamer? No, I like them all. They're all different. I'm sorry to say that, but they all bring different things to the table. So I kind of poke around, because I really like each person, and it's just I only have so much time. You could spend all day, all night on this stuff if you did. I mean, it takes time. It does. So I appreciate you guys taking the time. That's why I did the Midnight with Magoo, because I thought, oh God, these guys are doing it all day long. There's people doing different things all day long. And I thought, well, I'm kind of a night owl. And I thought, I know, I'll do Midnight with Magoo. And it worked. It did. So there you go. And maybe tomorrow night I'll have on my light. Hi, Tori. I managed to catch your replay. All right. Australia. Ooh, nice. Aussie Fiona. Oh, good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you did. And here's good night, everyone, from Smoke. Say good night. Good night, Smoke. Yes, Tori, just talking to us is enough. We don't need flash stuff. Tori's activism is next level. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I try. I do. And I definitely have experience. That's one thing that I have a lot of things. I mean, I've lived a long time. Your stamina is incredible. Thank you. Well, I love you guys. I'm snug as a lady with two pugs. 2 dachshunds. All right. Yes, Tori, I made an edit of you and Doug. I hope you like it. Nice. I don't think I ever even saw it, so I'm sure I'll like it. And here's Becky. Hi, Becky. I saw you. I hope you got my hi. I saw you out there at what's it called? You know, the restaurant, La Poubelle. The deal you should remember and recall, you have really helped paint the picture. Wait a minute, let's see what this is. Fluffer Squirrel. The details you remember and recall you have really helps paint a picture that I can understand, referring to your thoughts on why Lisa wasn't likely at the Fort Harrison. Okay, that's good. I mean, I can't say it's true. You know what I mean? I'm saying it's my opinion. But I just, with all those bug bites, that would not happen in the Fort Harrison. They didn't have big roaches and stuff like that. And I told you, my friend said they did back at the US 19. So that's why I think she was out there. Plus, that's where they put someone type 3. They're not going to put someone type 3 right at Flag where all the money is. They just can't. I mean, people would be like, wait a minute, what's wrong with that person? Can't do it. They wouldn't do it. They're too selfish. I think they wanted people to think they were taking care of her that well. Oh, that's nice. She was in the cabanas. Yeah, sure. Favorite streamer is like asking which child is your favorite. I know, it's just like, no, that's too difficult, but that's a good analogy. Morning from Canada. All right. When you got out of the cult, did you take your son with you or did he get out on his own? I got him out before that. One of his friends, someone that he knew, it wasn't really even a close friend, but someone he knew hung himself. And I found out about it. And I just said, that's it. We're going to SeaWorld. And SeaWorld was sort of like our safe place where he would just always talk to me. It was amazing. And so we went to SeaWorld and I said, look, something awful has happened and I've got to talk to you about it. And he said, okay, what's up? And I said, you know, Jeremy Kasowitz hung himself. And I said, you have to know, if you're going to kill yourself, it's not going to be one death. It's going to be two, because I'll be dead 5 minutes later. And he burst out laughing. He goes, don't worry, Mom. It's not in the cards. And I said, okay, good. So have a seat, because I have something else to tell you. And he sat down and I said, look, I think, wait, I'm trying to get this so that it's, I don't know how to get this off the page now. Maybe if I just hit it. There we go. I said, I think that this is my religion. But I was way at the end of it, you know, like nearly leaving myself. And I said, but I don't know. You know, if people are taking their lives, there's something really wrong with this group. And I said, and I want you to know, if you don't want to do it, just say so. And that's it. You don't have to do it. You don't. And he said, I don't want to do it. I said, okay, then that's it. That's it. It's just don't tell people because they'll have to disconnect from you. So he was out and he was happy. He was fine. I got him. He went to Delphi. Then he went to my friend's school. That turned into a mess. So then I just put him in kind of a little school that another friend of mine had that was sorry, I got to put on my lipstick. I look too funny. Linda Nielsen, she had a little school and I put him in there and he graduated there. But the next year after that first kid hung himself, one of Justin's really close friends did shoot himself to death. And I was telling the mother about how I talked to my son and talked to him about it. And she said, wow, I never thought about talking to James about that. And I thought, of all the kids I know, of any children, James was one of those kids that she should have immediately talked to about this. You know, but it just showed you different people are different places. Anyway, please check out Tori's channel. She has been speaking out for well over a decade, and her information is so valuable. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do. You're welcome. Thank you, Sophie. That's nice. And it's Tori Magoo 44. It's this channel, right? This is the same channel. No, this is StreamYard. It's Tori Magoo 44 on YouTube. That's right. Wait, Do I even have it on there? Let me see if I have it. I don't even think I do. Wow, I don't even have it on my banner thing. But you go to YouTube and it's Tori Magoo, but I should put it on the banner thing. I will after this. Anyway. All adults should care about their kids. Of course they should. I mean, kids should be a top priority. Oh, Becky, you didn't hear me? Yeah, I asked the lady that was doing videotaping. I saw you and I said, hey, tell Becky hi. And she said, okay, I will. I guess she didn't. Okay, and this is Swedish Lena. I have to say, you really have your heart in the right place. I wish I could help you with your kits and take with you out. I would swap it for cooking videos. Hey, there you go, Becky. Because she's good at cooking. That's a good idea. And that's Swedish Lena. So you guys can talk to each other. Okay, morning, Tori, morning, Chad. This is from Joe. Hi. And here's from Mandy Beach. Tori, your ability to explain things is top notch. So I was wondering if you could contact a group called BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, Los Angeles chapter. See if you can get them on board with probably Scientology. I can, but I'm kind of, there's a lot of people that write me and say they'd like to help out. And I would like to have more than one person do that. Like any of these people here that are in the United States, you can call BACA and mention the Clearwater chapter and then get their number and call them. You know, other people can help out doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like I used to always feel like I had to do everything. And I realized you just can't. You can't. So that's a great suggestion, and I hope someone will. I'll write it down, and we'll see if we can find someone that can help on it. Because that's kind of that's a big job in itself. We used to do this all the time. Bikers Against Abuse. LA chapter. Okay, good. All right. All right. So yeah, that's good. And you do it too, Mandy. Ask other people and just, the more people we get helping it isn't like one person is going to write a letter and that's going to do it. It doesn't. I know how these things work. So the more people we can get to write letters to them about it, eventually they'll go, you know what? It's kind of like you think of things coming up to the top, and it comes up to the top and they're like, we got to look into this. There's just too many people writing about it. This is a situation. Whereas one person writes a letter, they're like, okay, put it in the file, we'll get to it. That's the way it happens. But enough people, and then they're like, well, wait a minute. It's coming here and it's here and it's here. And my boss is now asking me, what are we doing about it? And these guys over here. And I heard from these people in Ohio and they're writing us about what are we doing about it? And what about this over here? And you know what I mean? Then there's a point where they go, that's it. We have to go look into this. So we can now send out a letter saying, we looked into it. Here's what we're doing about it. That kind of thing. So I hope that helps. So everyone in this chat, if you see it, write down BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, Los Angeles chapter. And wherever you live, it doesn't matter, unless you're out of the country, because I think that's going to be too difficult. Although you could email, with email, because we're talking to you now. So you could certainly email them, and from that, or you could go on YouTube. They probably have a YouTube site and see if you can talk to them. But let's get it going with more people than me. You know what I mean? Because that's what needs to happen. Flupper Squirrel UK with their hearts. We love you. You really did a great deal. Maybe next big event. They're great for PR, and even the cops love them. Plus, they are loud and seen and liked by everyone. Okay. Yeah, we got to find out when their next big event is and see if we can get them. It's tricky because the church is kind of on, I mean, the police are kind of on Scientology's side because they get paid. Not that they get paid directly, but the Streets explained it to me. They get big donations from them. So they're kind of leaning towards them because of that. But they're not going to avoid the BACA. They're not. A bunch of guys on bikes, no. So we'll see. We'll see. They're not going to avoid us. Okay, Jeepers, question. Did you ever go board the free winds? Yep. And did public members ever know the terrible abuses on board? I don't really think so. I only went on to see my husband. That's why I went there. I didn't go there to do anything. I think I did some mini course there because I was there for however long I was there trying to handle him, which was a whole nother story where they were trying to get him to go to the Riviera to handle the biggest arms dealer in the world. His wife was at Flag. And so the wife wanted somebody to go handle the son. So they decided my husband would be that person that would go handle him. So anyway, they switched him off. He finished 37. I'm like that, boom, off to free winds. And now I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm talking to the examiner, and I said, look, I'm really ticked off about this. I try to call the free winds, you can't get through, and my husband's there, and this is ridiculous. And he said, well, you know what? Why don't you just go there? And I said, like, I have the money to fly to Curacao? And he said, it's not in Curacao. The free winds is in the Bahamas right now, and it's $85 round trip. And I said, you're on. And I got my $85, flew there, and what happened? I get in my car, or the car, they drive me there, drop me off. I walk over to the free winds, and they go, stand aside. And just like you degraded being, stand aside. We have to see if you can come on the ship or not. And I almost said, you know what? F you and the horse you rode in it. I almost did. But I knew it would cost me so much money in ethics and Harold so much money in ethics and, sec checking and whatever else they could drum up. I just said, just take it, Tori. You're almost out of this thing. And so I said, okay. And I stood aside and they had to look in my folder and see that I was taking medication. Are you still taking the medication? And I said, yes, I'm still taking the medication and I will be taking the medication until I'm dead. So there you go. So you can go tell him that. I was really pissed off. And he said, all right, come aboard. So I went aboard and I was just basically in this little stupid course room. It wasn't the OT8 course room because I was just someone else. I wasn't OT8. And so I was on some little course. And then every day, see, they try to pretend like they're a cruise ship. So every day they have people, the cruise director comes on and goes, good morning, this is the cruise director. And today we're going to the Berry Islands. And so I'd go every day. I'd go down there and I'd get in a little boat and they'd boat me over to the Berry Islands. I'd cruise around the Berry Islands. It was really fun. That part of it was fun. No one else did it. It was just a total PR thing they had in case somebody saw it. It was like, and I said, yeah, I'm on the free winds, but I'm here. And, anyway, it was very interesting to me because here, the Berry Islands to me looked like South Pacific in the movies. It was just this huge island, water coming up it. And I thought, wow. And I go walking up it, and there's like a little kiosk kind of thing, and all these people are around it. I think, wow, I wonder what's happening there. And I walk up and I go, hey, and I hear CNN. They're all sitting around listening to CNN on an island. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. Unbelievable. But anyway, I went there and I had different stories, and then I left. But I didn't see any abuse. No, I don't. I mean, I don't even think most of the public would see any of the abuse, because if they did, they would do something about it. Who is this person who asked this question? Jeepers. Did public members ever know of the terrible abuses on board? No. And we didn't know that there was asbestos. I didn't find out about that until after I left. And I don't know if it's still on there or not. But a lot of the staff were, they were subjected to being around asbestos for a long time, because they were on it for a long time. I was on it for a couple of days. And I had dinner with the captain of the ship, which I said, I don't have anything to wear for the captain of the ship. This is going to be really awkward. And they said, no, we'll have Mrs. So-and-so call you. She'll help you. She'll walk you through it. So I basically wore black pants and a black sweater, and she gave me a necklace to wear. And that was it. And it was very awkward. It was really weird. And I think it was David Miscavige's mother. I'm not sure, but she definitely, whoever we were with, she looked like a drunk real estate lady. That's what she looked like. So, I've had a lot of weird experiences with Scientology. Okay. Pinch Becky, I thought of you today when I witnessed a passing fire truck waking up unhoused man with their effing siren. I went to the station and complained. Good. Yeah, we've got so many. I'm so used to it. It happens all the time here. Okay, Sophie. All right, she's talking to someone. John Strange. Wow about what? What are you wowing about? All right. Okay. For the record, I believe others have contacted BACA LA, but you specifically would be a great contact since you know so much about the abuse of children. No, I don't. Where is this coming from? The person that you want to talk to about the abuses of the children is that I know, and I have never even met him. He didn't want to talk to me. Is Serge Del Mar, I think is his name. But he was the one who was abused. I don't know about the abuses of children. I'm just saying I wouldn't let children in Scientology because it's a mind control cult. But I feel that way about anybody. I wouldn't let people in if I had a choice. It's like it's not a good group. But no, I don't. I personally, so much about the abuses and the abuse of children. I don't know the abuse. I don't know of any children. I never saw children abused when I was in Scientology. So whoever is passing that around, you tell them to come talk to me directly, because that's not true. I never saw children abused. I'm not saying it didn't happen, because people like Serge has got all of his stories about it. It obviously did. Laura, where her dad is still in, there's definitely that kind of thing. I know tons of abuse as far as disconnection, where kids have disconnected from their parents. One of my best friends has never met her grandchildren. That's abuse. That's a creepy abuse. But as far as people being hit or something like that, I never saw that. I never witnessed it. I was never around it. And I think they're very careful to make sure. I mean, the most I saw was a Sea Org member yelling at another Sea Org member. And I was like, well, wait a minute. In the communication course, it says communication is universal solvent. So what happened there? Right? So to me, right away, it was like, well, this doesn't add up. But that's the most I saw as far as that kind of thing. I had my own medical abuse that was awful, and I nearly died from it. And I have my short-term memory disaster that I'll live with for the rest of my life, thanks to the Church of Scientology. But so I'm not saying there aren't abuses, but as far as the child abuse, that should be something Serge, who's talking about it all the time, have him talk to him, ask him to talk to BACA LA, because you know, I think, I don't know. I'm going to try to call them anyway but it's just because they're the, what is the name? What does it mean? The Bikers Against Abuse. See, it's against abuse in general. And abuse in general, yes, 100%, I can speak about that. If it's just about the abuse of children, which you're changing that, because that isn't what BACA is. But I know so much about general abuses of the Church of Scientology because I was in it for 30 years. So, yeah, okay. That's the one. Oh, you did? That's the one I grew up with, philosophy too, of the morning to you. Okay. Thank you for being so kind. If you're saying that to me, you're welcome. If you're saying that to somebody else, they can say they're welcome. This is the United Nations of Tori right here, and we all spread the wisdom far and wide. I know it's really great. I love that it's so many different areas, different continents. Sophie typo was meant to be top of the morning to you. Okay, good for you. There you go. Thank you for correcting it. All right, and thank you for looking after Tori so well. Also, your name is cute. Tinker Mom. It is. That is really cute. Yes, I got it. All right. Okay, and here we go. Okay, no, wait. Mandy Beach. I must have mixed you up with another streamer about the abuses. Thanks for the clarity and thanks for sharing anyway. Yeah, I know about a lot of abuse in Scientology, but most of it's that's why I speak out about breaking up of families, stopping free speech, medical abuse, fair game, and fraud, where they rip people off for money. Those are my main things that I speak about. And I have a big sign that you can see a lot of my picketing signs, stop hurting families, because they do, just by the nature of disconnection. It's so awful. Well, these guys are all having a nice little chat. Okay, so I guess question again. Oh, wait. Question again. People, hi. People are supposed to fawn over Miscavige in letters in person. They're supposed to fawn over Miscavige in letters? They are? In person, do you remember it extending to weirdo women having a crush on him? You have to understand, I don't know where people are getting all this stuff from, but I saw David Miscavige one day. One day. I never met L. Ron Hubbard. I saw David Miscavige one day. He came in. We were at the Sandcastle. Everyone at the Sandcastle at the time was OT7. We had a big map up of OT7s around the world. Where are they? And pins and all over the place. He ripped that off right away. And he went up and down the hall. We all had different things on our doors. He ripped it all off. He said, the party's over. So we now are going after doctors and dentists and professionals. And so you all are expected to look like professionals and dress like professionals and act like professionals. That's the only time I met David Miscavige, except the other thing he did, Tony Clock was there serving him. And he said, I don't like this fork. And so he said, okay, how about this fork or something? I don't know what he said, but whatever he said, David Miscavige said, I don't like that guy's tone level. Put him on the RPF. Tony had been working there forever, helping all of us. And for Miscavige to throw him on the RPF, you pathetic weasel loser. That's what you are. You are just some skinny, tiny dick loser guy that really belongs in a mental institution at this point. That's where you belong. And if we can 5150 you, we will, because that's what's happening. That's why you're hiding out, because you know it. Your days are numbered, man, and it's not by me. It's not going to be by me. But I'm telling you, people hate you. They don't dislike you. They hate you. Why? Because they've hurt their family. That you've ripped off all their money. You've taken their money and bought motorcycles with it instead of helping the church. You've changed the church from something that was, in some degree, we thought good, to this absolute shithole. And that's why people hate you, because you're a really creepy guy. And it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better, because he's not going to change. All right. Please provide context in your comments to Tori. Thank you so much. Papa showed me Pup Groomer 20. Okay, I don't know what this Pup Groomer thing is. What's going on in that? Thank you for helping our lovely Tori. We love her so. Thank you, Chi, and thank you for being so kind to all of you. Yep, Serge Delmar. Yeah, I think he's a good person to, if you want to find out about child abuse. He lived it and he was around it. It was interesting. Listen, it was really interesting seeing him and Aaron together yesterday. I never saw Serge smile ever. I mean, I've never met him, really. I tried to meet him and he said, I don't want to talk to you, because he's positive that I did witness child abuse and I'm not doing anything about it. And I'm like, you don't even know my story. You don't even know who I am. I was just like amazed that someone would be that judgmental without ever even hearing what's my story. Where did I come from? I mean, let's talk. You know what I mean? Let's sit down and talk instead of, no, I don't want to hear your story. You're bad. It's like, really? That's news. Okay, that's good. That's rich. That works. That's like communication is the universal solvent. See, my parents were sort of like that. My communication skills are really from my parents, not from L. Ron Hubbard. I grew up with people that were good communicators, and they expected us to be able to communicate with each other and with other people. And we had a good time. They were into having a good time. That was their thing. Serge grew up in a very different environment where it was very hard on him, and I get that. And I'm not trying to take that away from him. It's just, it's not fair to not talk to other people and just blanketly say you knew something when you don't even know my story at all. So, no, I didn't. That's the fact. Thanks. It's a pleasure. She's awesome. Oh, thank you very much, Sophie. Sophie's so cool. All right, now this person, Kimberly. Sophie, that seems true of most cults, isn't it? The people at the bottom of the cultic pyramid are unaware of the abuses perpetrated by those at the top. Yeah, I mean, my husband is at the top. You know what I mean? He's OT8. My ex-husband, but he's still in it. And I know a bunch of my friends who are way at the top, but they're not around Miscavige. Do you see what I mean? Miscavige is the one that's creating that. And they're not in the Sea Org. So they're kind of public that are just, I don't know what they're doing, because they have to know it doesn't work. I watched them and I know they know it doesn't work. But I know from Scientology what happens. You just like with, we put up those videos, Bunkers got them, where the four of us were talking, and it's like you each think you're the only one fucked up. It's like it's not anybody else. It's just you. And so you've got that introversion of like, well, it didn't work for me, but I can't say anything because it's OT8. This is at the top of the chain. And I told you what Miscavige said. He was really, or not Miscavige, one of the executives at Flag called me in. And we were $60,000 in debt, which is back then in the 90s was a lot of money. And he said, look, Miscavige is really pissed off at all the OT8s. And I said, why? And he said, because there's only two avenues for them after they finish OT8 in his view. And I said, and what is that? And he said, the first one is join the Sea Org, and the second one is start a mission. And I said, well, good luck on that, pal. And I walked out. It was just like, I couldn't believe it. It's like all the struggle that we've gone through to earn the money or get the money or make the money, or, now all of for us, even though we inherited money, we had to pay a ton of money for me on 7 for 7 years. It cost a ton of money that we had to pay. And, they don't take that into consideration. Too bad. Okay, now what is this? Pop Groomer 20, loved it, not lived. Okay. It's all in layers, that's true. Okay. Told him exactly what I was doing with it and keep exactly to my word. I always do my best to keep my word. Good. That's like the 4 agreements. Have you read that? Pop Groomer 20? I must have mixed you up with another streamer. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So we're getting down here. Okay. Tori Magoo 44, my darling treasure. Neglect is abuse. I've seen it when Scientology dad left the kiddo in the car for hours on course until Selfless saw the glow of the tablet in the back seat. Wow. Okay. You saw it. Good. I'm not denying that. And of course, neglect is abuse. I'm just saying I didn't see that. I didn't. The worst abuse I saw were the kids that killed themselves. And I've spoken about it since the day I left. That is the worst abuse and disconnection. But I mean, of course it is. But someone in a car where a Scientology dad left a kid in a car for hours on course until Selfless saw the glow of the tablet in the back seat. That's frightening. I mean, that's just awful. No, I honestly, I didn't see that kind of thing. And people can think and say I did, and you can say it all you want, but I didn't. And that's all there is to it. Because you did doesn't mean I did. Scientology is such a maze of rooms. I told you, I had parties for 14 years with people coming over almost every month or every other month for 14 years. And every time we're connecting the dots. I was in this room, you were in that room. What happened there? What happened here? I was up here and you were down there. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's how dismantled it is, and intentionally so. So anyway, I agree. Neglect is abuse. But what you've seen and what I've seen, don't say that because you saw it, I saw it. Because I didn't. I didn't see that. I never saw that. And I'm trying to think of neglect. I can think of a few examples of neglect, but they ended up way worse than that. And those were the suicidal ones. It was awful. All right, Tori's story is a piece of the total puzzle of Scientology. She may not know about the child abuse, but Scientology compartmentalizes the members. So Tori may not know, but Serge does. Yeah, that's exactly correct. I mean, Serge doesn't know probably anything about OSA, but I've spilled the beans on that for 24 years. And I've tried to educate people on it. It's very hard to educate them on it, too. It really is. I mean, it's like they have done a good job of mind control, really, and trying to get people to realize, wait a minute, you're following their pattern. This thing of, us against them, that's Scientology. That's what it is. So when you are against me and you don't even know who I am, What is that? It's nothing but Scientology. That's what it is. That's the Church of Scientology. Us versus them. Most wins. That's what's happening. Tori's been exposing the abusive practices for a long time. You're right, for 24 years. Yep. And actually even earlier, because I was on them as far as I wouldn't say it was child abuse, but I felt like the kids needed to be with their parents. And so I was always talking to the executive saying, come on, you got to work something out. That these parents are, on post all the time, and the kids are in little, they were babies then, and I was like, this is not good. This is not healthy. So I was on it for a long time, but you can only do so much. Okay, Chi, I've been watching Tori for over a decade. I'm so happy she's back on regularly. Thank you, Chi. That's so great. I feel so bad because you bought me that wonderful megaphone, and now they're arresting people if they use a megaphone. So I'm kind of like trying to figure out how I can use it without getting arrested. Bikers taking down Scientology. All right. Every second gen has spoken about helping abused in auditing and on the RPF. Now wait. Every second gen has spoken about being abused in auditing and on the RPF. Okay. Well, first of all, every second gen was not in the Sea Org. And you have to be in the Sea Org to be on the RPF. So maybe some of them are talking about the RPF and abuse, and maybe many of them are talking about it feeling abused in auditing. And that's their story. That's what it is. But just realize a lot of people ask me, have you been on the RPF? I'm like, no, they routed me out of the Sea Org because of epilepsy. So no, I wasn't in the Sea Org. Witness, hey there. All right. Okay, here we go. Lara, Jenna, Serge, Liz, Nora, Mike Brown, Sterling, and Reese are all child victims of CFS. They should contact BACA, as they would be the best to get them fired up. That's a good point. See, that's a really good point, because each one of those have personal experience as far as, I can talk to them about just general stuff and why I think that they should come. But as far as the child thing, they should talk to them because they've experienced it. You know what I mean? So they can come and speak to them. They should actually, all of them, go as a team. Oh, that'd be cool. Last time I'm going to tag you. Did you receive the photo of us and Solomon on Easter? I sent it via email. Let me look. Hang on. You sent it today? All right, let's see. And it's from Chi, right? CHEE. These are all cheese. It comes up cheese. What's your email thing? Well, anyway, I'll look, but it doesn't, I can't search it with chi because it comes up cheese. Okay. Fraudsters and pet predators, full stop. Yeah. I'm glad to have found Tori. She's a jewel. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm glad you did too. I'm really, really, really glad. Yes, Tori, top of the morning to you too. Thank you, Lorraine. I love modding alongside you. Happy days. You are such a shining light and always make me smile. Thank you. Well, that's nice. Thank you very much. And here's a question from Chi. Follow-up. Scientologists praise him in reports, applaud him. Just wondering if you'd overheard anyone saying, oh, he's so cute or something. No, I never. That's why I'm like, What are you talking about? I never saw anyone attracted to David Miscavige. I never heard anyone attracted to David Miscavige. It was just like, it's like Hubbard. Look at him. It was like, ooh, no. And Miscavige isn't any better. No, I never saw people thinking he was cute or things like that. Most of the people I knew, we weren't really happy with him. We're older people, and we just didn't like what he was doing. First gen and second gen, and heck, even third gen, have a different perspective of the total puzzle of Scientology. Imagine the ones like Odo and Sean, who have gone through all those generations. The story will come. The story will come make. Okay. I don't think you finished that sentence, but yeah, it'll come out. It will. Inch by inch. Wow, it's 9 a.m. there. All right. The whole picture of Scientology. Yeah. Ha ha. Oh my God. Tori's insults are hilarious. Hey, you know it's true. You know it is. Weird women have a crush on Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy, and okay, I'm not going to say no one did. I'm just saying I never heard it. It's kind of repulsive to me to even think of it. Like somebody's attracted to this asshole that is truly hurting way too many people. It's not okay with me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't give a shit about it. I don't care if somebody is in love with him. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's a creepy, jerky guy. And I know I never heard anybody go, oh, I think he's really handsome. No, never. It didn't happen on my watch. Now, maybe it did on other people's, and I'm sure all these evil people, they're ill and they do it, but let's not talk about it here. I really don't want to. I'm really ticked off at Miscavige right now. So to bring up who really liked him and what did they say about him, I don't care. You don't get that I don't care, that I might go, shut up. Stop asking me about it. It's like one time, okay, but on and on. It's like, no. Anyway, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say shut up. That's not nice. It's late and I'm tired and I'm hungry because I didn't have dinner. So I know it's bad. I just didn't. I had other stuff I was doing, and then I thought, well, I'll get to it. And then I didn't. And then Lovett called me and said, we got to get online. And I thought, okay, whatever, I'll eat afterwards. But now I'm like getting snippy and I'm sorry. And I don't mean to say that to you. You have every right to ask me that question. And you're right. There are weird women that have had crushes on very strange people. So there probably are people that have crushes on. I don't think so. To me personally, I don't think so. But I could be wrong. I mean, I can't imagine having a crush on Ted Bundy. I just can't. It's like, really? It's like you've got to be kind of a way out there having some troubles of your own, I think. So anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize for saying shut up. That's just me being hungry and my blood sugar's going down and I'm going, it's time to eat, Tori. Okay, so anyway, that's why I want Odo to come out. He's got the dirt. I have talked to Odo for about 15 years. So you're not alone on the I'd like Odo to come out. We have spent hours and hours and hours talking to Odo back when he used to be able to talk, and he would talk, and we would think we're getting somewhere. It's going to happen. He's learning. He'd hear everything. He's a good listener, and we think it's going to happen, and then it doesn't. Now we thought he was dead, because we hadn't seen him in 5 years. Yes, he is despicable. Church, yeah, LOL. Exactly. Tori coming in hot, telling it how it is. Fire. That's right. That's me. I don't know what that is or how you even make those. I've seen those before, but I don't know how to make them. And I also, COS has made it a dumpster fire. Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. Okay, here's a comment from Tinker Mom. Yes, Mom. Yes, Tori. You have only to see the one interview little Davy did a few years back where he was so defensive and crazy-eyed to hate him. Yeah. But I mean, I saw him in person where he came into the sandcastle and ripped off all of our stuff, ripped off our map and everything else. I mean, he was a complete ass. And it was like, he pissed me off then, and it just got worse and worse. I mean, I was on a level for 7 years where I had to pay for it every year, twice a year to fly there, thousands of dollars to stay there, thousands of dollars to get sec checked. When I'm writing him saying, please help me get off this level, I need to handle my own present time problems that L. Ron Hubbard said, you will not have case gain. You won't get better if you're auditing over present time problems because your attention is on the problem. So you need to handle the problem. And I wrote that up to him over and over and over. And what would I get back? Okay, continue. So what do you think I think about David Miscavige? It's a little bit more than, ugh. Catching it live. Woo! Love you, Tori. Thank you. Moose on the loose. All right. I love that. Okay. Thank you for addressing this, Tori. You've always advocated for children who are harmed by this cult, and your advocacy should be commended. Thank you. It's been a little weird, you know. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. His experience, not yours. Exactly. That seems unfair. Tori's a treasure. I agree. I think it's true for anybody. Give them a chance. You should always hear both sides. That's my thing. Listen to both sides and then make up your mind. Sophie, because that's what Scientology does. They get people against each other, and then their thing is, no, we're not going to hear the other side. They won't talk to me in 24 years. That's the Church of Scientology. That's what they do. They won't hear it. No, you're declared suppressive. That's it. We don't want to hear your side of it, Tori. Now, the truth is, this tech was built by L. Ron Hubbard, and he said there were many, many steps that you had to do before you declared someone as suppressive. David Miscavige, you don't do that anymore. You just blanket declare someone a suppressive person, whoosh, throw them out the door. And you know what? It's coming back to you, babe, and it's going to keep coming back to you. I told you when I was you're creating your own enemy. And I told you in Magoo Dancing in Boston, and here I am, right? Out. And now one of your enemies. And there you go. And here it is 24 years later. And you know what? Your 25-step program to muzzle Tori, that worked, didn't it, honey? Yeah, that really worked. What an idiot. And Yachty, I know you listen to this shit. What are you doing in that place? It's a zoo. They hired gang members to come knock down a barbecue and hot dogs. What are you thinking of? I think I'm going to write a big article and put it in the LA Times. I think I am. Have you ever been room rated? Yeah. So many new people, which is fantastic, though. Yeah, I actually like it. I think it's kind of cool. I feel the cult of Scientology knew Tori wouldn't stand for child abuse, so they kept her unaware of the child abuses. I think that's true for most public. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, those kids are getting abused, so let's just keep going on. Everyone I knew, I don't think they would have stood for it. We wouldn't have. So whoever was, you've got to find out who was the person who abused these people. Who were they specifically? And get it named, because it's kind of like everybody is. No, it isn't. No. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, see, Scientology, what they do is they find out what you're good at and what you'll do. And they won't put you in anything you won't do. And they knew I would not put up with stuff like that. No way. But I think that's true for a lot of people. So they got to find the people that are okay with someone being abused and get those guys doing that, which I don't know how they do it. I don't. It's a new field for me, and those guys are going to have to keep, poking around and finding out. But I'll tell you one thing: the one way you won't find people is just blanketly saying everyone is this and they're the reason I was harmed. No, that's not true. And as long as you won't hear our side of it, you won't heal. And you're the one that needs to heal. So think about that. For anybody abused, if you're abused, you need to recognize you've been abused. You need to get away from the abuser, and you need to help yourself heal, because that's a big part of it. It is. Healing it's a long road. Mandy, truth. All right. How did the weird wavy Davy get all the power? He basically, at the night when I've told this story before, but basically he and David Miscavige and a few other people Hubbard wanted $1 million a week from the church. He said, it's my money. I started it. Bring it up here. Bring it in cash. And I've talked to people who saw the cash, and they said, Tori, it was from floor to ceiling cash. Okay, so Miscavige was part of that. They would go to Las Vegas, party, goof around, which is a different state of Nevada, right? And then they would come back to California and give L. Ron Hubbard his $1 million and then come back to LA. And this happened over and over and over and over and over and over. And now Hubbard dies, and the church is supposed to go to Pat and Annie Broker. And L. Ron Hubbard and David Miscavige says to Pat Broker, either you get the hell out of here, or I'm going to put you in prison for the rest of your life because you transferred all that money across state lines, and I know it, and that's it. And of course, so did Miscavige, but, it was just one of those nights where there was so much weirdness going on, and I think he was able to just scare him to death, and he left, and Annie Broker stayed on. They put her on the RPF, and she died there. So it was like, what was his trip? I don't know. Hard to imagine. We think it's just me, but thinks it doesn't work. Yes, I told everybody at Landmark that I'd flunked the forum. We think it's just me that thinks it doesn't work. Okay. Yes, I told everybody at Landmark that I'd flunked the forum. Okay. I'm not quite sure what your point is, Kimberly. Just say it in English. What are you trying to say there? We think it's just me that think it doesn't work. So yeah, each person in a cult thinks it's just me that thinks it doesn't work. So that I get. And you told everybody at Landmark that I'd flunked the forum. I'm a little confused on the forum and the Landmark, how that works. Is the forum part of Landmark and you flunked that, so you told everybody, and what happened there? I don't quite see what the connection is. Okay. It's a slightly complicated story, but let's see if Tori can explain it better than me. What? Did I explain it or not? Was that the one that I just explained? And Serge was a child from the beginning, so he didn't know what child abuse was until he knew it was child abuse, right? Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it's one that this is just my own thing, but I from talking to a lot of people who are abused, you have to take some time to work on yourself, on healing yourself. And that takes some courage. It does. It really does. That's all I'll say. It takes time and it takes courage. Um, and I agree. Thanks, Sophie. You're a great moderator. She is. I've read the 4 agreements. Good. That's what I thought. All right, now Sophie, Kimberly, it's like the emperor's new clothes. No one wants to admit that it's not working. Yeah, when you're in. I've heard David is a heavy smoker and a heavy drinker, at least at one time. Do you think he gets proper medical checkups and blood tests and other tests? How would I know? When people ask me questions like that, I'm like, you couldn't possibly understand the how Scientology works at all. I mean, David Miscavige is like up at Mars, and I'm like down here with the people picking grapes and things. It's just nothing. I was never near the guy. I know nothing about him except that one day that I've already explained tonight. That's the only time I ever was around David Miscavige, and me writing him the letters and him saying, okay, continue, just completely ignoring everything. I mean, I doubt if he even wrote those letters. But the point is, I have no idea whether he gets checkups and stuff like that. I don't know. They'll have to ask somebody that was closer to him, and I don't know who that is. Can you say you have even 1% benefit from the superpower revealed at OT8? And was it a tremendous disappointment or a motivating factor to leave? Okay, obviously, Jonathan, you do not know my story at all because I'm not OT8. So I can't, and there's no superpower that's on OT8. Superpower is a separate thing. I think Hubbard originally designed, or with Miscavige, I don't know. Anyway, somebody created it. But it was a thing that anybody could go in Scientology and do superpower and get superpowers, right? Without doing all these OT levels. OT 0 through 8 is a different thing, and that's the bridge to total freedom. And my ex-husband is OT8. I was OT7, and you said 8. So I was never on 8. I was never on 8. And no, I wouldn't say I had 1% of it. And I told them that at Flag. They came around and said, we want to film your wins on OT7. And I said, okay, listen to me very carefully. I have not had one win on OT7 ever. And they all just went white. I mean, I don't think they'd ever had anybody say that to them. And I said it to them on camera. And I said, I've had some wins on training, but not on auditing. No. And they 86'd me for the rest of my time in Scientology. They used to always put me on camera. Oh, this came out, put Tori on it. Oh, this came out, put Tori on it. And then after that, whoosh, that was it. No. We don't want to interview her. She didn't have any wins on 7. We can't even talk to her anymore. And was it a tremendous disappointment or a motivating factor to leave? It was a huge motivation to leave. Yeah. It was like once I realized, like I say, my analogy is it was like trying to swim up Niagara Falls. And if you've never seen Niagara Falls, Google it so you see what I'm talking about. And it's like trying to swim up those falls. And then someone says in my ear, you can just turn around and slide down. We'll give you an inner tube and you'll be fine. And I was like, oh my God, I'm free. Now you have to remember, I spent 10 years getting to that point where I could hear that person. I started 10 years before I left reading self-improvement, going to bookstores and looking for books because I didn't want to read bad news about Scientology. So I was just looking for self-improvement, philosophy, religions, anything like that would help me wake up. And I think it stripped off a lot of the mind control. So by the time I was ready to wake up, I could hear it. That's what I think. And my husband would laugh at me all the time. Say, oh, it's another one of your secret library books. I'd say, yep, It is. Because he wouldn't read them. He's like, okay, don't read them. And here he is still in Scientology. So no, I wouldn't say I had 1% benefit from any. First of all, I wasn't on OT8, but even for OT7, no. Now you might ask other people and they might say, yeah, sure, there was definitely 1%. They might say it was 50%. I don't know. I know one guy that really liked OT7. He's the only guy I know, but I do know one guy that says he really liked it. Anyway, Tori, I don't think you ever witnessed anything you said you didn't. I believe you. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. I don't know. Now, see, these are where it's difficult because it's like you wanted to share what with me. Now, what, because if you're going to say that I just wanted to share whatever you said, that would help because now I'm like, all right, what did she say that she wanted to share? I'm going to go back. Sorry, everybody, but this is that seems unfair. Tori is a treasure. Okay, so you wanted to share that with me. That what was unfair? Maybe that's it. You didn't really clarify what you think was unfair. Okay. Question I've heard. Okay, that's the heavy smoker. Okay, we already did those. Sophie, and there I was, nearly on the edge of being on the spectrum, telling the truth. Wow, that's big. Oh, yeah, and here's another one. The Catholic Church sold indulgences in order to build cathedrals and favor with the kings and queens of the period. Then came the witch trials, and then the guy named Martin Luther and his reforms. Yeah. It's tricky, but the difference is you can walk out of the Catholic Church. I was raised Catholic. You can walk out of it and you don't lose all your friends and you don't lose your family. That isn't true in Scientology, and that's the difference. Don't be sorry for it. Why are you sorry for this? Don't be sorry for me, because I've 20 years of my 30 years, I was very happy. I was not, everybody can say, no, you weren't. It's like, you weren't at my life. I had a good life. I liked my life. So did my son. So did my husband. My husband's still in. I can't speak for him now. But the last 10 years of my life, it was very, very difficult because I was on OT7 and it was awful. And I was doing that OSA shit with my auditor. So that was weird. It was just the whole thing got very weird. And then I left. So, but don't be sorry about it because it was a good thing. I mean, if David Miscavige had been a great guy, I'd still be in Scientology. It's a good thing that you're a dick. It's okay. Keep it up, man. You are destroying this church like flames. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what you're doing. It really is. And it's fantastic. It's a great job. You're doing a great job destroying Scientology. I love it. I do. I don't love you doing the stuff that hurts people. That's not right. And that'll never be right. The bullying stuff is never going to be right. It's never going to be good. But all your other BS where you're basically just ignoring people and which is an abuse in itself. Anyway, you're going down in flames one way or the other. I don't care how long it takes. And the other thing is everybody needs to learn about this. So, because we're not all going to be here forever. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about we older people. And then you got to pick up the that's what Robert Von Young told me. He said, Tori, this is like a relay race and you're going to run it as long as you can run it. And then the only thing you have to know is you've got to pass the baton on to someone else and then they will keep running. That's it. And I'm still running, but at some point I'll pass it on and there you go. And I'm happy I'm making all these videos because then people can see it. I don't have to be here. You can see it. Go watch the videos. That's what I say about Andreas to this day. I say, He's not here, but you can go look at his website. It's fantastic. Okay, that's right, Tori. Us versus them is a tactic used by people who want to control and confuse the narrative. Thank you. That is exactly right. And tricky to be in at this point. Please give the like button a touch assist. I think you're going to do better if you just say, please hit the like button. All right. That's okay, Tori. Just use the hair clips and have a look at the Magoo football card. Can't get arrested for that. What are you talking about? Just use the hair clips and have a look at the Magoo football card. Can't get arrested for that. You lost me, girl. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you saying, Chi? All right. One was lost this week. Someone who had grown up in C of S and unalive themselves. Oh, so he took his life? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that. Was it in this country, in the United States? So sorry to hear about Serge still being angry with you. Me too. It all goes back to trying to put the pieces of the wider Scientology image back together. There are so many different experiences. I understand that. I totally understand that. I don't think it's fair to just tell someone this is what you did when they never heard your story. It's just not, it's not right. You know what I mean? It's like, so I think it's always important, and that's a big lesson we can all learn, is to make sure you let the other side tell their side of the story. And then you can really, I mean, that was my big takeaway with Scientology. I realized I only knew one side. I only listened to one side. That's exactly how that is. No. I don't want to hear your side. I've got my side, and it's right. No, it wasn't. It wasn't right at all. So I always tell people, learn both sides. And people back in the day, I was out protesting when people still thought it was a church, and they'd get mad at me, and they'd be like, they have a right to their religion. And I'd say, look, let's get a couple of things straight. First of all, they stop free speech. They break up families. They have medical abuse. I have epilepsy. They took me off my medicine. So I'm speaking from experience here. They charge an enormous amount of money, and they don't care if you go broke. That's how it is. And if you leave, they make everyone disconnect from you. And I said, if you think that's a religion, you tell me right now, because I won't waste any more oxygen. And they go, no, that's not what I was thinking. And I said, exactly. Hubbard was against religion. He was against churches. He was against Jesus. He was against angels. It's like, what kind of moron would be against all of that? It's like, go figure. But you got to hear both sides. And I say that all the time. I say to those people, when they'd be like mad at me, I'd say, you look at both sides. That's when I started carrying my cards. I say, here's my card. Look at both sides. Learn Scientology side and learn the other side. Read go study the stuff on the card. And I promise you, you will make the right decision for you. I promise you. Because I knew if they learn both sides, they're never going to join Scientology. Not ever. If you really understand what they do, no way. I don't care if Tom Cruise comes over to your house and says, you got to join Scientology. You'd be like, really? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts, Tom Cruise? What are you doing backing up David Miscavige? You're another one. What the hell are you doing? And Travolta, you know me. I know you. I helped twin with you when you got Welcome Back, Kotter. You gave me hugs in the last 20 years, twice. Get out of there. You're not a Scientologist. You shouldn't even be there. I get Tom Cruise. He's like, oh, I'm with David Miscavige. knucklehead. This is an awful organization that you are backing. A lot of humans think about exit strategies from constructive environments. Okay. Ah. Okay. Lisa McPherson's death, Scientology claims suicide was a starvation death. This was an outrage. David Miscavige has blood on his hands, but he doesn't care. Right. Very true. Okay, now. Everyone's experience within this cult is valid and needs to be heard. I would love to see more unity in the movement to come together and effectively fight this cult. Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, because I knew I worked with the Office of Special Affairs, and towards the end, they finally told me their 3 goals, which were to distract. I knew it was to distract off of Hubbard and Miscavige and the church. And I sort of knew they were dividing and conquering. And then their 3rd goal was to just slime the area so nobody would go there. And every time I see people like this, I think, God, it's a win for OSA. And I've heard people go, oh, I don't care about OSA. And I go, then you don't know what you're doing, because you got to care about them. They're in your world, whether you know it or not. Oh, thank you, Chi. All right. Okay, good. I'll get it. I will. Swedish Lena, so sad. Okay. Laughing my ass off at Tori saying, look at him. Ew. About Hubbard. Ew. I don't know. I hear dwarfs are very well endowed. Seriously. It's a thing. Okay, Sophie, you go for that, girl. You go for it. The only one benefit from each and every conflict within this informal community of critics is the OSA. The only one benefiting from each and every conflict is OSA. Yeah, we may all have our differences, but they shouldn't serve as obstacles. Yeah. And just like my dad taught me when I was a kid, he said, Tori, because I hung around with my brother and a lot of their friends and some of my friends, but it was mostly boys. And he said, I want you to understand how bullies work, because bullies will never sit down at the table with you. And it's like, that's a fact. That's just a fact. That's the way it is. It's like, anyone can sit down at the table with you and disagree, and that's okay. That's what my dad said. Just hash it out. But it's those people that won't sit down at the table with you. They won't hear your side. That's where you got to stay away from them. No. Don't need it. Don't want it. So anybody in my world, if you want to be in my world, you come hear my story. If you don't, that's fine. You've got your own world, and there you go. But I don't like people talking about other people. And if people are talking about me, I want somebody to come tell me. I want to know. I do. Because that's OSA winning. I'm sorry, Tori, no more of that. I promise. Okay, Tori, we love you. And you're allowed to say that you don't want to keep hearing about that. Okay. It's all right. I just knew it's getting late, and I'm just a little bit hungry. I saw the letter from your dad's broadcasting days on eBay. Wow, it's $130, or I would have bought it. some of his other cards on there too. Well, that's nice. I might have them. My mom made a whole big scrapbook of all the cards that people sent when he passed away. So I have a big scrapbook of my dad, with all the newspaper articles, and there's a lot of stuff. But I'll look. Oh, this is from his broadcasting days. Yeah. I wasn't saying ooh about Ted Bundy. Yuck. Exactly. Yeah. And also L. Ron Hubbard. Ooh. Please get something to eat, Tori. Now I'm worried about. Don't be worried about it. For goodness sake, no. I'm not that. I don't have diabetes or something like that. I'm just a little bit hungry. I'm not even a lot hungry because I ate kind of late. I did. Okay, here's a good one for Eloise. Saul Goodman, excellent point. They have different perspectives. Even Aaron did for a while I think Serge really broke it down. Kids can't consent. They are brainwashing kids to turn them into a cult. Interesting. All right. Oops, sorry, mods. Okay, I don't know why you're sorry, but that's okay. Mandy, it's okay. Good. All right. It's all about the Scientology, nothing about the people, never has been, never will be. Let's hope. It often is about people. So I don't agree with that, but I think we can each learn and get more educated, and the more educated, then the better we become on it. The whole show is built on pillars of sand. Watch it come tumbling down. Amen. Won't that be great? That's right. It's so important to hear all the sides. It really is. You think about it. I mean, that's how I got trapped in Scientology, because I was only listening to their side. Shame and humiliation tech is a fail for every parent out here. Always. The sandcastle is in Clearwater. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. It helps me geographically. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that. It's part of the Flag Land Base. It's a motel that they bought on the water and said this is going to be for OT7. They changed it, so I think now it's open to anybody. But yeah, public and Sea Org are very different. But also, when you're in, you think you're saving the planet. They don't see it as abusive until they leave. Yeah. True. You need to eat, young lady. All right. Well, let's just finish up here. Let me just see if there's anything else. In an absence of light, only darkness prevails. Good point. That's why you got to keep light. All right, kiddos. Now let me see. No one. Does enforced major sleep deprivation count as abuse? Of course, I would think. Yeah. From talking to Sea Org members, definitely it's abuse. They had awful time with that. During the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the mind frame supported troubled youth military-style academics for diverting troubled teens. Most were not Scientology. Interesting. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Soapy. That's nice. People like Tori who shine that light. I work on it. I do. I try to. They have so much money, it makes them poor. True. Poor Annie, so sad. Yeah, that was really sad. Tinker Mom. Okay, Tori, I believe you. You're not one to hold things back, and I have proven you are a truth teller time and time again. Maybe at some point, Serge will want to take the time to come to an understanding. I'll be happy to talk to him. I'm just saying, and I told this to him when I said, I want to talk to you, and kind of meet you. And he said, I don't want to talk to you. And he just started rattling off all this stuff that wasn't true. And then at the end, he ended and I said, okay, well, then that's that. And it's over to you. Because it's like ping pong. It's like I came over to him to say, I want to meet you. And he said, no. So, okay, it's over to you. And the man that was with me said, that was very gracious. Because the creepy stuff he said, I could have definitely said a bunch of stuff, but I didn't. Because I couldn't know I was talking to someone that has been seriously abused and doesn't need more abuse. So I understand. And I don't understand because I haven't experienced that abuse, but I understand when someone doesn't want to talk to you and they have a right to that. And I respect that. But I think it's too bad that I think it would be part of his healing to learn a little bit about what he's broadcasting and insisting is true when it isn't. It would be probably very healing for him to come talk to me, Spanky, a few people. But, that's his choice. Okay, chat reminder, please provide as much content as you can in comments. I'm sorry I can't remember all this stuff. Stronger together than apart. Okay, it's abusive when you perp it. Duh. Okay. When you perpetuate it, I think that's what you mean. Sorry, Tori, someone had asked how David took control of the church, and I said, it's a complicated story, but maybe Tori can explain it. Okay, and I think I did. I told it as much as I know. I don't know anymore. That's what Jesse Prince told me. Be impeccable with your word. Good advice. All right. Well, I've been speaking about it for 24 years. So I have a way longer history of speaking about this than a lot of people. And that alone for me, if I was talking to someone, I would have a little bit more respect and, interest in what they had to say. But there you go. Different people, different strokes. Landmark is a knockoff. Oh, yeah, that's right. Forum is also and Ask. Oh, so they're different. So Landmark's different than Forum. Okay. I think they're trying to say that those groups, you think it's only you that's not getting in similar to the OT8s. I think they're trying to say that in those groups, you think it's only you that's not getting it similar to the OT8s. Okay, I don't know. I've never been in those groups, so I don't know anything about them. Don't take things personally. Oh, God. If I had $1 for every person who has said that to me in my life and never helped me ever, just so you know, I hate that expression. It's like, don't take it personally. It is personal. Things are personal. And to say, don't take it personally, but, I don't know, whatever. I get it. I get what you're saying. It's just, to me, it's one of those phrases that people say often to me, and I've worked on it, and I try not to take things personally, and it just happens. And that's just the way it is. And I'm 76. I don't think it's going to change much more. I've been working on it a lot for 76 years, trying to not take things personally. Because believe me, you are about the 80 millionth person who's told that to me. And it never helps. Not ever. I try to introvert on it and think about it and think of ahead of time. But when I get ticked off, I just get ticked off. That's the way it is. And it is very personal to me. That's the way it feels. You can say it isn't, and maybe it isn't to you, but it is to me. And I've seen some movies where they go, what do you mean don't take it personally? This is very personal to me. And I'm like, yes, exactly. Someone who understands. But anyway, sorry, Catherine Kelly. I don't mean to go off on you because I know you mean it just like the other 80 million people meant it in a good way. And I know you do. It's just, it is one of those expressions that has never, ever moved the dial in a way to help me, ever. And that's why I promote the 4 agreements, because they talk about don't take it personally, but he gives you information that will help you not take it as personally as you do. So I've gotten better at it because of the 4 agreements. And that's why I promote that book. Of course, it's going to happen. Why? Because tide and time wait for no one. Time for Scientology to get what's coming. Amen. Yes. Thank you for that. Nebesil the third. Okay. Catherine, please provide more oh yeah, she already said that. It's all right. Question, is a win a gain in Scientology? Yeah. It's sorry about that. Yeah. I always think a win is kind of just an English term. I mean, a term in the English language. But yeah, a win is like a gain or, a success, something that you feel good about. That's what a win is. All right. Well, good. With high functioning autism, I'm learning about Scientology from you, Tori. Okay. Well, I'm happy about that. And definitely study www.xenu.net. This is Andreas's site, and it has fantastic information in it. I'm not kidding. If you want to be a critic at all, study that site. It's really got great information and videos and personal stories and, history. It's really good. Chi. Sorry, Tori, I wanted to share about the kid kept in the car in the Sino parking lot. That's it. Yeah, that's awful. It's awful. It really is. No, I get it. And I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, that's like, I think that's against the law, isn't it? I mean, I think it is here in LA. You can't leave. I don't even think you can leave a dog in a car and not get a ticket, or bigger. It's a big crime. And leaving a kid in a car, not ever here. That's just unbelievable. Hi, Tori. Do you think the pandemic shutdown gave public time to breathe and think and resulted in more people leaving? It's a good question. That's a very good question. I bet I hadn't thought of that, but I bet you're right. I bet you're right, because just like all of us, like people that used to work at companies, and now they're like, well, you know what? After the pandemic, I've been working at home and I'm very successful doing that. I don't think I need to come back to your company. So it very well could be. I don't know. I don't know statistically, but it certainly looks pretty thin. It really does. So I think you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, she clarified that, Sophie. Dearest Tori, that cross is the cross of Diana, not the cross of Christ, is the symbolic of gnarly inner mentality of Scientology. Really? I don't know what the cross of Diana is. I've never heard of that. But I know it's not the cross of Christ. No, because he was against that. An 8-year-old medical doctor's education in hindsight probably looks a little bit different. That 8-year medical doctor's education. Oh, you mean me if I was going to do the 8 years of it? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, it isn't a regret because I don't believe in regret, but it definitely, it would have been, I don't know if I would have made it. I really don't. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it sounds good and it looks good, but I know me, and because of just everything, my learning stuff, and I forget what they call it, ADT or whatever it is, where you get things mixed up, and it's difficult for me for studying and stuff. I don't think I'd make it now. I mean, I still think it's a great idea, but I don't think I would have made it. I just don't. Gaslighters ignite. I don't care. Okay, what does that mean, Catherine Kelly? Gaslighters ignite. I don't care. Well, what does that mean? Yeah, explain what you mean there, please. I forgot about the context reminder. I apologize for being unclear. I feel like I should send Tori dinner. No, no. Gee, no. I feel like I should send all of you guys dinner because I have this. It's my own, like problem. It's not yours. No. You don't have to feel sorry about it. Nothing. No. She's just reminding you, but don't worry about it. I'm disappointed, but not surprised. I'm tired of all the disagreements and lack of forgiveness. I like the kinder folks. I agree. I do too. I think all of us do. I do. Great job, Miscavige, destroying this cult. Nobody wants to join. Get ready to testify, COB. True, witness. Very, very true. Okay, now this is from Mandy. Magoo for the win with so much info she shares about the inner workings. Thanks, love, but you really should go eat. We need you to keep your strength. Don't worry. No, I believe me, I'm very, very strict on myself on sleep and food. So I had eaten enough beforehand. I'm just saying I was getting a little testy, and that was all that was. But I've eaten enough. I'm really strict on myself with that. I always get 7.5 to 8 hours sleep, always. Okay, now this is from Chi. Sophie, if Tori Magoo 44 doesn't see this, please tell her there's food on the way. It'll be there at 2:20. Aww. You'll get in trouble for megaphoning, but not for enjoying the gifts I sent. Aww, so sweet. It's so sweet. You're too much. I got to go pretty quick. So, all right, because I don't have a doorbell, so I got to get out of here. All right. No, I don't want Tori to feel scared when there's a knock at the door. It's food delivery. Okay. I see it. Okay, so I'm gonna zip on. I'm sorry, everybody. There's a question. What does it mean to twin? It just means we kind of do things you to me and stuff like that. I'll explain it the next time tomorrow night. Okay, hearts. Thanks. I'll add it to my glossary. Okay, good. Oh my God, there's a bunch. All right, an important comment. Do not be scared when the knock. Okay, so I gotta go. Goodbye. I love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me and everything and being here and being part of our group. And you're a wonderful family. I love you guys. I mean it. I really do. I couldn't do this without you guys. I couldn't. So I wouldn't be here at all. And so it's wonderful. Thank you. I love you guys. Please hit the like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We love subscribers. And I'm going to go and get my food. Thank you so much. Gee, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to end the stream and go to my front door because I don't have a doorbell. All right. Good night.